We all have a story, we all have a tale. Well, there's a place I've come to know well, led by a man named Sty. He's full of stories, he is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite a guy.
Well, good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Sty Story Sunday. Hey, I hope you're all doing well. Most of you, I saw you just within hours. So I hope things didn't go bad since the last time I saw you. Hey, we got a bunch of friends in the basement. We're going to pop them up here. This is somebody that, if you don't know her, you don't know nothing. There she is.
Howdy.
Hey, howdy. Howdy.
How you doing?
I'm doing real good, eh? Thanks for showing up, sweetie.
Of course.
Of course. Then we got this crazy character. Oh, wrong crazy character. Whoop. Oh, and then here's another partner in crime right there. Hey, Dojo.
Hey.
Great to see all three of you. Awesome. Awesome. Let's take a look at who we got hanging out in the chat tonight. We got Aiden here, Blake Hurst, Bradley Whitworth, Crazy Ann, of course. We got D-Bag 0584, and we've got Dojo right down there. And we've got Eric Pollock, everything spicy, hiding behind his mankini. Pretty hard to hide in one of those, Phil. We got E-Waste Mike. We got Freeman James. We got Get Her Done Granny. We've got Jadzia Dax, Kimberly Ferris, Kirk Wicker Voyager Center. We've got Bits of Darkness. Running Water. Sorry Spray. Hello. And we've got WH Outdoors. Great to see y'all. Great to see y'all. Thanks for coming over to the Sty Shack for the Sty Story this evening. What the heck?
It looks like you've been with a book
licking?
that has a pair, but yeah.
He's worse than a kid. I mean, oh, look at my tongue. See what happened to my tongue?
I think he's been with somebody he shouldn't be with this week. Yeah.
Now, Prince of Darkness, I've got my moderator group maxed out right now. I'm not like a lot of other channels where they just mod everybody, give everybody wrenches and that. I have a specific group of mods, and they kind of rotate through, and I've always got a sufficient number of mods in the house. So yeah, I'm not adding mods right now. You'd be considered, folks that, depending on how long they've been with the channel, hanging out, and how well I got to know them, and I see how they react to others and that. They go kind of on my, if I need a mod list, I can pull them off of that list, ask them if they'd mod for me, and put them on. But yeah, I'm just not adding mods right now. But who did it? Somebody snuck in here. I thought I seen somebody sneak in.
Native Grammy.
Oh, Native Grammy. Hi, girl.
Hey.
Good to see you. The Carpy Chris, good to see you. How do?
Hey, puppy.
That's it, Prince of Darkness. I'm kind of that way too. I don't hang out in streams with people I don't like. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think we're all kind of that way. We just don't hang out in streams where you don't feel you're amongst friends,
Hey, Carpy Chris.
Yeah. Oh, the puppy. Look at it. She's just active too now. Look at her tail just go. Is she chewing on you? Yeah, she's chewing on you. Teasing.
Gary Irwin. Hey, Gary.
Gary Irwin, good to see you.
Is that a sausage dog? No. How can you eat that?
The sausage dog, yeah.
You should know better. Hey.
I tell you, because of my mother-in-law, it's not that I got anything against dachshunds, but I would never own a dachshund. Between my mother-in-law and an aunt of mine, her dachshund, she let that thing get so fat that she would put a sweater on the thing that had this clear plastic belly on it so that it could slide its belly around as it walked, so it wouldn't wear the hair off of its belly. And I got in trouble because I called it down the steps one day, and I didn't know that thing couldn't do stairs. And that dachshund come down there like a torpedo in a bunch of waves. Boom, 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 all the way to the bottom. Sorry, puppy.
What's up, Running Water?
Hard to keep upstream from everyone in a overcrowded stream. That's
Hey, Pedro.
It says I'm out of the truck until Wednesday. A woman hit me yesterday at the red light, but that's okay. She totaled her car because her car ran underneath of my truck. Oh, ouch. Crunchy, crunchy.
So polite. Hello, sir.
There's the neighbor.
Yeah.
Good to see you, by the way. Other than at Ann's, kicking back, having a beer, watching TV, or a drink.
He's already done that. When I was visiting my mom, he was sitting here and drinking and watching TV and felt happy. Yeah.
That you guys made him think he's part of the family. You have to put up with him now.
He's empty.
Kind of like a stray dog. Once you feed him, They never go away. They just keep coming back.
He's keep coming back. He's 21 years now. He's keep going back here.
Oh, you're welcome, Prince of Darkness. Hey, if somebody does a good job on their video, I tell them when I see a video that's done well, I always try to tell them, hey, good job. Keep it up. Just keep working, man. I mean, you obviously, you get in control of what you're doing. So just keep doing what you're doing. And I see your subs have come up considerably. So you're doing good. You're doing good, man. Native Grammy said my internet keeps buffering. Apparently weird because my Netflix is going fine. Huh. Yeah, he just did a it's kind of a neat. I thought it made it a neat it's a slideshow, but I thought that's a neat intro video for his channel. Actually, his little slideshow is pretty cool.
I did my slideshow.
Yeah, it's a very short video, but it was well. Did you use Filmora to build that video, by the way, Prince of Darkness? Did you use Filmora? Hey Wanda, hello. Great to see you.
I never find him when I try to find him. That's my problem. But
well, when you get to his channel, it's real clear. It's the very first video on his homepage. He's just
yeah. I'm looking. I've been away for most of the day, and also.
No, I was wondering. Prince Darkness, what editor you use to make your slideshow. You know, what editing software you used. I was watching today, just kind of out of curiosity, how like Phil forever did everything on his phone. Everything. All of his editing, his thumbnails, everything he built on his phone. He did it all on his phone. And I've never done that crap on the phone. I never will. I hate my phone. I hate phones, period. But today I watched some videos on guys that were giving like tutorials on how to do all that stuff that Phil does. And I'm going, well, I can see if you learn it on the phone, it had to have been tough for him to kind of put the phone down and go to the laptop, because it's amazing. I couldn't believe what you can do on that phone and the apps that are available. It's pretty
I still
damn
have
good.
to go back and forth. I still can't do some things on my computer that I should be able to do on the computer real easy, but it's really easy for me on the phone. So I hurry up and do it on the phone, email it to myself, and then save it in the
Yeah.
I do all my editing video things all on my phone.
Well, you're a lot like me. You spend so much time at work, unless you got a decent computer and stuff at home. It's only since I've had this computer here that I do anything at home on the computer now. So, or my computer was only for live streaming, so it wasn't for anything else. So,
right. See, and that's it with my desktop. My desktop is 100% YouTube dedicated. It's all dedicated to YouTube. It's got my channel for the last 5 years. Everything is on that system. I got another computer over there that's just about as old as I am. That one I use for a few different other tasks, and my laptop is my bookkeeping.
Your other computer, you can't afford the code to run it, so.
What was that? I missed that.
I said your other computer, you can't afford the code to run it.
the coal.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I need to convert it over to gas. Natural gas.
It won't be long, and Sty will turn into fossil fuel himself. So,
hey, shut up. God, you're such a nice guy.
What's up, Amazing Drop?
Great to see Amazing Drop.
Hey,
Yeah, sundials and abacus. Yeah. You use the sundial to know when you're gonna stream live, and then use the abacus to keep your books.
Yeah, you don't have computer.
Hey,
chick
Lady
here.
Reaper, good to see ya. Good to see ya.
You don't have computer chick here to stick up for you.
Well, she's gonna be popping in. She's gonna chew you a new ass. I know it.
Yeah.
You quit picking on little Sty, and when it comes to me, you pick on me, and she's gonna be all over you. You're gonna drive her to drinking again.
Oh no, damn that.
Can't have
that. I don't want
Oh.
that. No.
Hey, Chowser, good to see you. Yep, we're gonna have to get on with the Sty Story, guys. Oh, it is that night. It is Sty Story Sunday, so people do expect to hear a Sty Story on Sundays. And yeah, she sent them the link. There he is. There's the kid. There's running water. Just in time for the Sty Story.
Who invited him?
I am.
Oh,
Look at you can read it all over her face. Look at her. I mean, when I see someone pop in that basement, I haven't specifically sent the link to. I know who sent it 90% of the time. But
you have to have like somebody that can keep you on a straight line. So you, yeah.
oh yeah, sure, okay. Why can't it be Friday again? Yeah, for some folks. Hey, Samantha. Hi.
Yeah, it was 5.2.0. Yeah.
Sweetie. Well, I'm going to throw you guys off to the side, and I'm going to get this Sty Story done. Okie dokie. Native Granny, quit talking about your steaks again. God, that girl, she's just as bad as the rest of you. Torture me with good food. So, okay. Well, if you saw the title of the stream when you came in, title of the story tonight is Chucky. Now, I'm not talking about the Chucky with the knife, you know. Not that Chucky. No. This Chucky, if this Chucky would have had a knife, this story would have had a totally different ending to it. All right. I was let's see. I had to have been 15 years old at the time. I had just gotten my first car. And I grew up on Lake Minnetonka outside of Minneapolis, St. Paul. And our community is totally surrounded by water. There, you got to cross a bridge to get into the town I lived in. And that lake had so many bays with channels attaching them all. It's just insane. I think it's 485 plus miles of shoreline on that lake. Oh, we got to get her done, Granny. There she is. Hi. And so as a kid, to go fishing, if you wanted to go fishing, you had maybe 3 blocks you would have to walk to get near the water to go fishing. You could go fishing whenever you wanted. Well, once I had my first car, it was like, now I can go fishing everywhere I wanted. Well, there's a river that was about 25 miles, maybe, from where I lived, that I can remember fishing it with my one grandfather, and the fishing was really good in that river. And I thought, I'm going to go fish that river. So here I am, 15-year-old kid, couple fishing poles thrown in the back seat of the car, and I got some bait. And I take off, and I head out to where that river is, and I knew a farmer out there that I could drive down through this one field and into the woods, and I could get just close to the river. And I bet you the car was no more than maybe 30, 40 feet from the river's edge. Grab my gear and my bait, and I head down to the riverside. Now, I had walked quite a ways from my car, maybe half the length of a football field, and I found a really nice spot. There was a dead tree laying there that I could sit on, and the water's only about 3 feet in front of me. I start fishing the river. And all of a sudden, I heard something rustling in the woods behind me. Now, this is all wooded along that river bank. I could hear something rustling in the woods. I thought, what the hell is that? Squirrels or something? Kept looking over my shoulder where the sounds come from. Couldn't see nothing. Then all of a sudden, it sounded like something rushing through the woods. And I turned and looked. And, okay, woodchucks prefer to live in burrows, in hillsides. I got this big-ass fuzzy woodchuck coming down this hill towards the river where I'm sitting. And they don't growl, but it was kind of like a growl. He's all pissed off. And he's coming down that hill. I thought, boy, what's he pissed off at? Well, it didn't take long. He's coming right for me. He's pissed off at me. I got up and I grabbed my little tackle box and I had my rod and I started running down the riverbank. I thought, that son of a bitch was after me. I get down the riverbank a ways and I don't see him, don't hear him. Cast my line out. Couldn't have been 10 minutes. All of a sudden I hear that rushing sound again. And I didn't even turn to look. I just got up, started running down that riverbank a little further. And I got a ways and I turned back and looked. And here he is. He's coming right behind me along that river. He's after me. And I thought, what the hell is wrong with that groundhog? Has he got rabies or something? So I ran a bit further and then I couldn't see him anymore. I thought, cool, fine. Okay, he gave up. So I set up, started fishing again. Again, it wasn't even 10, 15 minutes at the best. And all of a sudden, I can hear that damn thing coming back down through the woods. I turned around, looked, and here he is. He's coming, and he's all fuzzed out. You know how an animal's hair will stand on end when they're mad. Well, a woodchuck's pretty big. You know, they're 18, 20 inches long, and they're about that big around. They're big fat buggers, and they're more than you want to try to hand wrestle. I don't have any kind of firearm with me or nothing. I just got to get the hell away from him in case he gets a hold of me and starts chewing on me, you know. So I took off a little further down. Then I realized, after I lost him again, I realized where I was at, and I'm going, my gosh, I was over a half a mile away from my car. And I'm thinking, now, how the hell am I going to get back to my car without that bugger? I got to go up that hill. And he could be up there waiting for me, you know? It's that, or I got to go back down the riverbank all the way back to my car. And what are the odds? I'll probably run into him on the trail going back to the car. I decided I'm going to give it, because he didn't seem fast enough to catch me. So I thought, I'll give it and I'll head back to my car. And I bet you I didn't get 50 to 75 feet heading back towards the car. And all of a sudden I heard this growling sound and all these leaves flying. And I turned, and that bugger is only about 3 feet away from me. He had to have been sitting behind an old tree or something waiting for me because he was right there. Have you ever had one of those times when you were running so hard, giving it everything you had, that all of a sudden the whole world seemed to be in slow motion? It's like, even though you're giving it all you have, it seems like you're just walking fast no matter how hard you try. That's the way I felt. And that bugger stayed on my tail. He had to have chased me about 300, 400 feet. And then all of a sudden he stopped and he's just standing there as I'm still running. I turned around and looked, and he's standing there. You could tell he's all peed off. And I thought, what in the hell did set him off? And he went up the hill into the woods again. And I thought, oh, thank God, I can get to the car. So real fast, I walked my butt to the car. I come up from the riverbank to the flat where the car was parked. And just as I came up over the top of that ridge, I realized he's sitting right outside the driver's door of my car. That little bastard went and flanked me and got to my car and was waiting outside my car for me to show up. I couldn't believe it. I thought that there's got to be somebody controlling this damn thing, because how the hell does a woodchuck know? Well, he's heading back to that big metal thing. I'll go sit there and he'll come right to me. How's a woodchuck know that shit? So I get up there and he's growling again at me. And I'm like, but he's not chasing me. He's just standing his ground. And I thought, he's not going to let me leave. He's not going to let me back in my car. I started going around the back of the car. I thought I'll get in on the passenger side, climb over. I go around the back end of the car, and here he comes out from around the front. He didn't follow me. He went around the other way, going to stop me on the other side. So I went real quick, went back, and here he comes around the front, scurrying around. And I thought, this damn thing is determined to get a piece of me. He's just not going to give up. We went back and forth like that for, I bet you, a half an hour. I couldn't beat him to the driver's door. Finally, one time I come running around the back of the car, and when I got there, he was still trying to catch up with me. I made it the driver's door, and I popped the driver's door open, and that sucker, he come right underneath the driver's door because I had it half open, and I jumped and I run back the other way, but left the door cocked open. I ran back the other way, and I was standing on the passenger side, looking both directions, thinking, I can get in the passenger side. I was just reaching for that door, and here he comes around the front again. So I ran like hell around the back, but the door was open, so I dove in the car, got the door shut. What did he do? He just started walking away, just real calm, walking away. And all of a sudden he stops and he turns, looks over his shoulder, and he started bobbing his head at me like this. And he had this, for some reason, an animal with an expression really pisses me off. Because he had this like, yeah, right, try to come fishing here again. Yeah. So I named him Chucky because he's a woodchuck. And then they come out with that movie Chucky. Oh, yeah. That was Chucky in a fur coat. If that little sucker would have had a knife, this story would have had a totally different end. I'm sure of it. So watch it when you go out there and you're fishing or hiking places you don't know. There might be an occupant that thinks he owns the whole damn place. And I figured a half mile, most of our towns out in that farm country, that's all the bigger they are. They might be 1 square mile. I think that woodchuck thought he owned that whole area, the whole thing. I didn't know they had that kind of range. But boy, that guy, he ran the show there. And he was so darn healthy. I mean, you look at him, he's healthy, he ain't drooling from the mouth or nothing. He's just a big, fat woodchuck that don't like people. I talked to that farmer and I asked him, I said, you ever run into that woodchuck that's down there? He laughed. He goes, no, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I told him what happened. He goes, oh my God. I was going to send my grandkids down there this weekend to go fishing. I said, I wouldn't do it. One of them might not come home. Chucky will get them. I'm sure of it. So, yep. Use caution when you're outdoors. It's not just grizzly bears and mountain lions and things that can come after you. Chucky the woodchuck he can get you too. And he seemed more determined than most bears that I've ever run into. So there you go. There's your story for this Sunday.
A fuzzy woodchuck.
Yeah, he was fuzzy.
I'm embarrassed for
fuzzy. He looked fuzzy because he was pissed off and all of his hair was standing on end. Woodchucks are hairy.
Good job he didn't get hold of you. There might have been some more over that hill waiting for food.
Yeah.
Well, good thing there weren't any chipmunks out there too.
There wasn't what?
Any chipmunks out there too.
Killer chipmunks.
See?
I'm not worried about chipmunks unless there's 4 or more of them.
4 or more.
Yeah, if there's 4 or more.
A gang of chipmunks.
Yeah, they'll gang up on you.
Alvin, Simon, Theodore, and their girlfriends.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, how much Sty could Chuck if Chuck wanted to Chuck Sty? Yeah, Gary Irwin had said that earlier. Yeah. No, I was really I've dealt with woodchucks before and since, and I've never run into a woodchuck that pissy. I mean, that woodchuck had a heck of an attitude, man. I think he thought that he was a predator and not a rodent, you know. Hey, Jeep Hard Life, good to see ya. Plain Old Chuck, good to see ya. Alyssa, good to see you. Thanks for coming in, folks. No, it had no health issues. It was just pissed off, being territorial. I talked to a couple of folks after the fact that they related that, yeah, and it was just being territorial. And I had one on our farm that kind of went after me out in the barn once. I had kind of cornered him, and he got really peed off. So,
it's like a farmer going on his land. He was like, "Get off my land!"
Yeah, yeah, this is my land. Get off. Got chased by a turkey one time. Not fun. Gobble gobble gobble. Oh, my poor little dog got chased by a big tom turkey. And she thought she was tough until she realized that turkey's was about 4 times her size. And then what does she do? She comes running back to me with this pissed off tom turkey on her ass, a wild turkey, just pissed off right on her ass. She comes running, runs right under my legs. I'm like, you damn dog. If you get another animal pissed off at you, don't come to me. You start it, you deal with it. Don't bring it to me.
I got attacked by 2 Canadian geese.
Oh yeah,
geese suck.
You know,
geese can be a pain in the ass.
And I was feeding them as well, and they turned against me. But fine, I'm not going to feed you anymore.
Yeah.
Geese are assholes. Period. They're like cats.
Yeah, that chasing me down the grass. I ran off, and it started chasing me. And these 2 geese, I was like, "Bloody hell, they're after me!" Well, they've got sharp. They're priding how sharp their little teeth are when they get hold of you.
Oh yeah, I had a pair of Canadian geese, and a buddy of mine. My geese treated me good. They never bit me. The gander, he got mad one time with me because I was trying to move him, and I had him by the neck and one leg, and he beat me with his wings, and my forearms, both my forearms got all black and blue from him beating me with his wings. But otherwise, I would go and I'd get down on one knee and I'd look at him and I'd talk to him in a real quiet voice, and he'd come over with his head right next to my ear, behind my ear, and he'd go just real quiet, quack, 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 quack. And then he'd stop, and I'd look him right in the face, and I'd go, say what? And he'd honk like hell. And then he'd quit, and he'd put his head back there and quack, 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 just quiet. And I go, I don't get it. And honk like hell, just like he's having a fit. And well, a buddy of mine saw me doing that. He thought, man, he's telling me that's cool. That's cool. He said, yeah, we have fun doing that. I said, he's kind of like my pet dog out here. He's a watchdog. And I started walking away, and all of a sudden I heard my buddy screaming, and I turned around and looked, and that goose has got him by the damn ear. He got down there, put his head up to that goose's face, and started talking to the goose, and all that goose did was grab him by the earlobe and hung on for dear life. And started beating him with it, and that guy's screaming, freaking out. And oh God, once he got the goose off his ear, he's bleeding like mad. They got those little serrated bills that, I mean, they're pretty sharp. They can cut pretty good. Oh yeah, we had bantam roosters too. Fighting chickens. We had fighting chickens. Ooh. There's a whole another Sty story there, so I can't go down that road.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
No, I can't go down that road. No.
Yes, you can.
No two full Sty stories in the same night. No. Oh. Little tidbits, but no two full stories.
Yeah, good time Sty's at his deathbed. If he tells the story now, he won't have one to tell.
He always gets something new, you know. It's always happening something new. He always, yeah.
Heck, if it happened just in the last month or two, that ain't a good Sty story. Until it's got some age on it. It's got to get some age on it.
Like a good book, it's got to be aged.
I don't read books.
Lady Reaper had similar situation with a beaver. Chased me up and down the river when I was 14.
Jojo's got a beaver chasing him.
I had that happen too. Lady Reaper. I got chased by a beaver, but it was up and down the beach. And finally I managed to get to my car and get the hell out of there before she cost me a lot of money like the last one that caught me on the beach. Yeah.
Want a good book? Read the phone book. There you go, Dojo. Sty.
Do they make phone books anymore?
I don't know.
Yeah, I got a phone book last week in my mailbox. Thin little tiny little bugger. And I went in there and I'm looking through it and I'm going, that's about 20% of the phone numbers that were in there just 5-10 years ago.
I can remember the phone books over here used to be this thick.
Oh,
huge. Now they're like this.
They're just tiny little. I'm looking in there. I'm going, God, there's not a lot of landlines left.
Mobile phones now, isn't it?
That's it. I mean, if they came out with a cell phone book, holy God, that thing would be
like this.
I mean, that'd be huge. Because I know so many people that got at least 2 cell phones. You know, I know a few people that got 3-4 cell phones, and then everybody in their family has a cell phone in their house.
When the phone books used to be this thick, there was an idea for standing on.
Yeah. Or to throw on a chair when you got little kids visiting. Yeah. I mean, they made the perfect booster seats, and then you had guys like the Crusher from All-Star Wrestling that like to show off tearing one of them big bastards in half.
I have to try doing that.
I fought with one for about 6 months, and I even cheated, kind of tore the pages a bit to get it started, and I got maybe about a half an inch tore, and that was it. So I tore the whole book in half at the binding and tried to tear half the book apart. And I found out now I can tear about a quarter of the book, the big book. Yeah, tearing a whole damn book in half was, yeah, you got to have some pretty hefty hands.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help also with, the yellow pages. Usually those are paid ads that are in there, and everyone's doing everything they're, on their own online. Yeah, they can do their own marketing. They don't need a phone book for it anymore.
That's one thing I noticed too is in the yellow pages, you look in there, and it used to be one of the biggest sections was all of the automotive places, like Phil works for, all the dealerships. There's a ton of those, and there was garage after garage, every service center, every one of those dealers, they had their service center was a separate entry, and the automotive section was just thick. Now it's like 3 pages, and the attorney section is half of the book. You look under attorney, and it's half that damn book. Every attorney, and then that's when you realize, oh my God, I think we got too many of those guys. There's way too many attorneys. And with what they charge people, why are they in that book? I mean, why aren't they? Yeah, they should have the satellite phones, for crying out loud. They don't need no cell phone. They get themselves a satellite phone so they can call from anywhere in the world, Oh no, they got landlines. Call our attorneys out. They're cheap though. Attorneys are cheap. I personally know a few, and I know what they make annually, and I know what they spend. Nothing. They don't spend much money, except on a nice car. They got a nice house, nice car. From that point on, especially at their offices, keep it cheap. Their secretary will say, my pen ran out of ink, and they'd say, well, on your way home tonight, swing into Walmart and buy yourself a new pen. The damn attorney, they ain't gonna buy you no office supplies. You bring those from home.
Granny down there sporting the ball cap again.
Yep.
Been working.
Been one of them hair days. Just throw it back in a ponytail.
Yeah, you had nice weather, so you're out working today, huh?
Yeah. We at that yard down there, and I got my chainsaw out and got it to run. You know what? I had to work on that darn thing. It got so hot, it almost melted the plastic on the side.
Really?
I put a piece of it on wrong, and there's a thing in there that spins at the clutch, to stop the chain, and it melted inside. It melted the plastic. It was like, what the heck? Because it kept stalling. The chain kept stopping, and I was like, I tell you, get something brand new, and you got to work on it.
What type of saw did you get?
Stupid cheap Craftsman. That's all I could afford.
Craftsman. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Running Water bought a really nice Husqvarna last year.
Oh, they had some nice ones. I couldn't afford.
That Husky's great, except it's not potty trained. It's not potty trained. You cannot. You put chain oil in that thing, and it's fine while you're using it. You don't see any oil dripping anywhere. Put it in its case. Put it in the shed. Come back the next day. All the grease out of that, all the oil out of the chain oiler is at the bottom of that case. It pisses it out overnight. And I looked that thing, it's brand new. And I looked that thing over and over. I thought maybe the seal has gone off of it or something, because there's an old ring on the cap. No, everything's intact. Can't see a crack anywhere. There's no crack in it. It just pisses it out. I don't know why. And I thought, Husqvarna, for crying out loud, you've been building saws for so many fucking years, you can't get that right? What the hell? Nice saw, but it pisses out that chain oil real fast.
Well, I'm going to write the company and tell them I got it and somebody put it together wrong. I'm going to take a picture and show them what it did and tell them they need to send me that part.
Yeah. Fix it. Or F it.
I mean, it'll work like it is, but still, that's going to be a weak part on it, so it needs to be fixed.
Yeah. F it. What's
Fuckers, take the damn time putting stuff together. Fuckers.
this fisting thing going on down?
Why are you saying things in the chat I don't like?
Hold on, Sty.
Yeah, I had to make a video for my husband because he's talking about seeing me with the chainsaw. He could just see me out there slinging it all over my head.
Doing Chainsaw Massacre.
So that's what I did.
That's West Virginia Chainsaw Massacre.
I just put it up there raw and unedited.
Granny Chainsaw Massacre. All sorts of things we've got.
I couldn't get it up there very far. My arms was hurting. From using that gas.
So spicy, you're gonna shave your head?
No.
You get tired of this thing screwed up hair.
I'm doing mine tomorrow.
That's a
I'm
mean
getting a
dope
lot of crap
hair.
done tomorrow.
Normally,
Yeah, with my clippers, it would take about
I've got loads of hair.
less than 3 minutes, and
I'm telling you, I wouldn't have to worry about my thin spot when it's all gone.
well, that's why I shaved mine because I got a bald spot in the back now. So I got the family inheritance on the back of my head. So you don't know I've got one when I shave the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he looked younger with the hair, and he wanted to shave the fucking thing off.
Yeah, I'm going bald here, look. See it there.
Lady, you refer, yeah. Yeah, if you were down the street, boy, I'd be right there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that'd be the most expensive haircut I'd ever get. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got a guy at work. His wife's friend does haircuts, and she's been going around from place to place to place, cutting people's hair and charging them like $30. The people want to spend extra money since you can't get it. I was like, well, why don't you tell her to come here to our work? I said, I could tell you there's probably 70% of the salespeople on the floor want a haircut. I bet you there's mechanics. I bet you there's people that I said they could probably come for 3-4 days in a row and they cut hair nonstop while we're open.
Uh-huh. We got a gal in town here. I couldn't freaking believe it. Somebody put me on to her and said, hey, she does an excellent haircut. That's back when I had to keep a nice business cut,
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, because the place I was going to, they jacked it up to $28. And I didn't have enough hair to add up to $28. And they said, try her out. The only problem is she's open from 5 a.m. She's open from 5 a.m. until 8 a.m. Those 3 hours each day. And I go, why the hell would she keep hours like that? And they said, well, she's a bartender. And that's when she can fit it in and still get her light stuff done in life and get sleep and stuff. So she only has 3 hours a day. And you just show up. So I showed up there. She got me in the chair and she's clipping away and she did an awesome job. And I asked her, I said, well, what are the damages? And she goes, $6.
Whoa.
I go, say what? She goes, $6. That's what I charge for a man's cut. I gave her $15 and I told her, I said, as long as I need haircuts, I'm always coming back here. $6. And she goes, don't you live up in that high-rise building? She said, and I go, yeah. You seen me in and out of there or what? She says, yeah, I saw you over there. She says, I've got some clients over there. And I go right to the building and I cut their hair for them. I go, holy smokes, what do you charge when you go to their house? She goes, if it's a guy, it's $6. If it's a gal, she says it's 10 because I do a lot more work with their hair. And I said, plus how much to show up at the house? No, it's the same price as at the shop. I told her, I said, you'll always get 15 out of me. I don't care what you say you're charging, you're getting 15 because that's absolutely ridiculous. I said, man, oh man, when they're charging $28 down the street down here, why aren't you charging at least 15? Cut it in half, charge 15. And you'll still have everybody coming in here. She goes, a haircut's not worth that. It takes me, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I charge you $6. She says, I'm making $25 an hour cutting people's hair. She said, nobody needs to make more than $25 an hour. I said, well, what about your shop? You got to pay rent and all that. And she goes, I live upstairs. I own this little building. She says I'd have those expenses of this building, whether I'm cutting hair or not. She said, so no, really, I'm making $25 an hour. Oh my gosh. Hey, the only Brazilian I get is above the eyebrows. Yeah, trim the bush for $10. Yeah. Out comes the weed eater. Hi, Brian.
Every time I think of Brazilian, I think of that one joke.
Uh-huh. How much is a Brazilian?
The blonde and the brunette sitting there talking, right. And the blonde says to the brunette, the brunette says to the blonde, yeah, I went out last night with a Brazil, and I had sex with a Brazilian. She's like, how many is a Brazilian?
Yeah, how many is a Brazilian?
Oh,
yep.
Quite.
You take a 1 and all the zeros that are up there in your noggin on, just put them after the 1 and you got it.
I'll be back in a sec.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you be meeting up with Crazy Ann behind. Damn. You be meeting up with Crazy Ann behind the scenes. Or at least they're on the same side of the pond. Corny dad jokes. Yeah, well, hey. I guess I'm a corny dad. Get to that point. Well, I do know some non-corny dad jokes, but yeah.
Yeah. So, what's everybody got planned for the week other than work?
You know what I realized today? I picked up a few odds and ends from the grocery store today that we needed. And I'm walking to the other end of the grocery store because we got to get weed stuff, to kill the weeds.
Oh, weed stuff.
Yeah, weed stuff.
At first I was wondering, we had to get weed, and I was going to go
Roundup, the Roundup stuff.
They got it recreational in the store over there at Michigan. Oh my God,
Michigan. And of course, I'm walking down this aisle, and all I'm seeing now is pool chlorine, and it dawns on me. Oh yeah, next weekend, Memorial Day weekend, is traditionally the weekend that you open up your pool. I'm thinking, wow, that's upon us. Because again, Sunday we're going out to Grand Rapids to see my daughter, whose place burned down on May 5th. The whole family is going out there. At least me, the wife, our kids, and her other brothers and sisters. So it's the only thing I got to do that if I were to do it next weekend is Saturday. So
yeah, and that's it. Is if you shock a pool properly, there ain't no virus going to live in it.
No.
But, people that privately own pools, they don't pH test. They don't properly disinfect their pools. They think they have. I'm pretty sure it's good. I had this one guy. There's this one guy lived up on the reservation where we lived. He come over to the house and was chatting. I looked at him. I go, "What in the hell happened to you?" I said, "Man, oh man, it looks like you crawled in the oven and turned the broiler on." And he goes, "We overshocked the pool."
Oh no!
I go, "Say what?" He says, "Yeah, there's 7 of us that look like this." He says we were in there for about 10 minutes, and that's when it started to really burn, and that's when we got out and realized what was going on. I said, "Holy shit, man! No, Did you read the instructions? He says, no, I just started putting that shit in there. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the only time we really shock it is for the wintertime. You know, when we open the top back up and we get in there and put water in there, I'll put like 3-4 gallons of chlorine in there. Won't get in for 24 hours. Just let it run. It'll be fine.
Give it a good hard shock. Yeah.
Yeah.
The my oldest daughter, the one with 10 kids, they always had a big pool, above ground pool in the yard, and that damn thing would turn into a stinking swamp by midsummer. And I told her, I said, you got to treat that damn pool. And she says, well, we do when we first set it up. And I went to the store and got her a pH test, a tester, you know, and I said, you got to test the pH. I found the paperwork on her pool, and I said, here, read this page on what the pH should be at after you shock your pool and after, you know, to guarantee it's properly treated. It's not too hot. It's not too weak. And I went back down there a month later, and I looked, and I go, my God, it looks like a Florida swamp in August. I said, you got to keep up with that. I said, them kids are going to get sick swimming in that shit. She says, it's still cleaner than the lake over here. Evil.
Oh, I got one of those.
Running Water's laughing because he knows his sister. He knows that. That's something she'd say. Well, it's cleaner than the toilet.
Yeah, we got a chlorine floaty thing that we keep in there, like they do in hot tubs. It just floats. We keep it full of chlorine. It floats around for your daily stuff. And then about once a week, we'll put a gallon in there.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't test the pH.
See, that was
Never
it.
had a problem. We've had it 3-4 years now or more.
Yeah. My hot tub, I never had to test the pH just because I knew how much to put in.
Right.
And it was always glass clear. The water was glass clear all the time. I did have some dirty neighbors that my ex-wife had told them that they could use the hot tub in the backyard. I found out later that she told them they could, and I said, oh my God, now you have to tell them they can't again. And I ran out there and looked, and I go, yeah, that's a full drain.
Well, you don't want people in there bumping uglies in your hot tub.
Well, I mean, about 1.5 inches of filth had to come off them before they could bump in the uglies.
Wow.
You ever seen that bathtub scum?
They treat your hot tub like a cement pond.
Like 5 times worse than any bathtub scum you'd ever see, you know.
That's crazy.
And it was all over that tub, and the water was like a milky gray color.
Ew.
And they were filthy. They were just filthy people. I don't know. Well, they got one bath, that's for sure. They probably came over and used our hot tub and figured, well, now we don't have to take baths again for
right.
Years, you know,
that's gross.
Yeah, I let a friend bring her kids over and put them in the pool, and when they left, my pool was full of toilet paper.
Oh,
never again. They come to my house. They had to go take a shower first.
Oh my gosh!
But I got one of those saltwater filters, and my pool never turned after that. It was amazing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we don't have the sand. We've got a big cartridge filter, huge thing, like you have for a hot tub. And that's we got it from someone else, and that's what he used instead of sand. And it works great. You know, we take the thing out a couple of times during the summer. I got an extra one. I'll take it down to the car wash. I'll power wash it out, let it dry out, put the other one in, and we're good to go. So
I don't have to. I just set it and let it go, and I have it set for when it needs to do its thing, and it keeps the water crystal clear.
Yep.
Gallons of bleach in our pool when he closed it down in the winter before covering it up. Yeah, you know, in the old days, old school, folks that had pools when I was in the late 60s, early 70s, those that, the upper middle class that had in-ground pools at their houses and that. Yeah, I always thought they drained them for the winter. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. And they got aerators to keep them from freezing up. But they need that water pressure in them because the ground frost will cave their pools in. So they got to keep them full of water. Otherwise, the frost in the ground heaves the walls in on the pools. And they got to be careful with those pools in so many different ways. I mean, because they're down in the ground and sometimes they'll get cracks in them and they can get contaminated from the ground. The water's getting into the ground, into the soil, and then back into the pool. And yeah, they treat them really different.
Yeah, we got our pool for nothing, but nothing wasn't nothing. We paid, a lot to get a new liner in the thing. We had to build a deck on one side of it. Then we wound up having to put some, we had to have a thing installed. We couldn't install it. Our property was clay, so we had to have someone come out, landscape. I mean, nothing's free, right?
Right.
You get something for free. Someone gives you a free car, unless it's brand new, it ain't a free car because it's going to cost you a lot of money to fix it up, repair it up, and everything. Same thing with a pool.
Yeah.
I got free metal walls and a free filtration device. That's pretty much what I got for free.
Yeah. Hey, JCT, good to see you. Great to see you. Yeah, a buddy of mine down in the Twin Cities, he did pool servicing, and he laughed all the time because he said people that hire someone to service their swimming pools for them,
right?
He said
that's lazy.
That he said they got money to waste. He said they got money to waste, and he said the only ones that really made sense were, he said, some of these folks that lived around Lake Minnetonka, Wayzata, Minnesota, and that, you had the Donaldsons, the Daytons, you had Pillsbury's, you had Paul Newman, you had a lot of big names living there. Well, they have big, fancy ass in-ground pools. Those you don't maintain as a homeowner. You hire somebody to maintain that crap. I mean, they've got control panels that could fly the space shuttle, and this guy, God, he was making a ton of money doing that shit. He said, yeah. He said, the husband's lazy, the wife looks good, and I'm out there cleaning the pool. He says, all's good with me. He says, because I get a paycheck too. He said, some of those spots, he says, yeah. He says, the view's so good, I wouldn't even charge them. But he says they pay me anyway.
Well, some of those, rich people, it's nothing. All they ever want to do, 9 times out of 10, they don't even use the pool.
No, they might have a couple of kids and they use it, but the parents, most of them never ever go out to their own pool.
Yep.
Yeah, it's mainly a status symbol.
It is. Yep. It is. My pool's bigger and fancier than yours.
Yep.
Hey, scrapping together. Good to see you. Yeah, that. If I had that Brazilian dollars, I wouldn't just have a big pool. I want a big natural type pool. It's got rock work and stuff all around it. But I want about a half-mile flume that goes all the way around through my property and comes back to that pool, that you can jump on a floaty and just float for a half mile around and come back to the big pool and have a drink or eat a sandwich, jump back on the floaty and float around that half mile again. That's what I'd build. Damn right. And then if they say, has anybody seen Sty? And just go sit down by the pool. He'll be coming by sooner or later. Yep. And then because I insist on living in the North Country, of course, that whole damn thing's got to be covered with like greenhouse domes. So it's heated in the winter because I wouldn't want to quit doing it in the winter. Float around in my artificial river all winter long. Look at the snow outside. Yeah. You poor, stupid bushcrafters.
Yeah, there's a
sleep in that shit.
There's a place I delivered to up in North Dakota this year. Way north of Williston up there, real cold up there. In his backyard, he's got this big geodesic dome. It's like at the base, like 80 foot across. There's green grass in there. He's got a little above ground pool, like a little 6-person pool in there, gazebo and stuff. And his family's out there, shorts and tank tops and stuff, just hanging out. And he's like, he's like, the weather's never nice up here. Doesn't matter what time of year, but it's always nice in there. Their house is just a little double wide trailer that their house. They put all the money into that in the dome.
Yep, put all the money into the dome. That was like this one customer. Hey, hi, William Simpson. It's like this one customer I had when we had the tree service. Went over to bid on a couple of trees he wanted removed. And I pull in his driveway. He's got a beautiful blacktop driveway. He's got a big 8-car garage. And I park in the driveway and I walk up to the house up this really beautiful cobblestone sidewalk. And I get up there, ring the doorbell. He comes out. And I said, all right, which trees you want taken down here in your yard? And he points at them. And I didn't even have to measure them. I gave him a quote on each tree. If we're allowed to drop them in the yard, if we have to piece them down so that we don't damage his lawn, then it's a higher price. And he goes, well, I get the cheap price. And I go, oh, so you don't care about the lawn? He goes, oh, I care about the lawn. But he says, you don't really, you're not going to have to worry about it. And I thought, okay, fine. That's cool with me. I'll just drop them trees. There's enough room. I'd drop them right on the ground. But they're going to leave some big gouges and dents in that yard. And he says, when are you going to come? I said, well, we'll be over here day after tomorrow, about 8 o'clock in the morning. He says, okay, I'll be all ready for you. I left. Didn't even think about it. Talked to the head dog at the tree service, got it scheduled. And I told him, I said, send the guys over there. I said, I'll get there after they got the trees on the ground. The next day, I'm driving over there with the big logging truck, and I get a call on the radio. Sty, you got to get over here in a hurry. This is weird. We're not sure we're at the right place. And I thought, what the hell are they talking about? I get there, and I pull into that big blacktop driveway. I look. All of a sudden, the whole yard, from the front of the house all the way out to the street, the whole yard is blacktop. I'm going, what the some bitch had it blacktopped overnight or what? Then I realized beside the house, it's all rolled up. It was all AstroTurf on top of blacktop. The blacktop came up to within about 3 feet of the stump of the tree so that water could get to the tree. Otherwise, he says, no, my whole yard is blacktopped. And it's got AstroTurf on it. Fake grass.
Don't have to mow it.
Right. He says, I don't have to mow it. He says, I got this awesome Advanced Machine Company sweeper. He says, and I sweep all the leaves up in the fall. He says, I don't have to do nothing. I don't own a lawnmower. He says, I got a leaf blower and that sweeper. That's it. And he said, when you said that you want to drop the trees and it'd be cheaper, I thought, shit, it'll take me a couple of hours or so to get the two boys out here help me roll the yard up. You roll this fucking yard up. I said, that ain't right. That just ain't right. But then I remembered my father-in-law had, oh God, he had my mother-in-law real nervous. He wanted to buy a nice plot of land about 2 acres with a nice little house on it. And then he wanted to rent the equipment, come in and strip all the topsoil off, all the grass, everything, and then haul a bunch of. He was going to put down weed mat on all the whole piece of property, and then cover it all with sand and gravel. He said, "I don't ever want to pull weeds or cut grass ever again." He says, "I want a giant rock garden, the whole property. Just be a big rock garden with a couple of fountains and maybe 1 or 2 trees here and there." He says, "But no lawn." And then I thought, he must have, that guy with the AstroTurf must have overheard him talking. Yeah. Just get rid of the grass. You never have to mow it again.
Yeah, when I was in 29 Palms, California, we see homes out there. A lot of not, I would say,
right
where we were at, the bulk of them did not have lawns.
Right.
What they would do is they'd have nice concrete driveways, and they would have an area where they had gravel.
Yeah.
Different colored gravel, different this, different that, decorative. Yeah, and they didn't have lawns. Well, they couldn't because it wouldn't, they're out in the open with the sun beating down, too hot, too arid, all that other good happy horse shit.
And water rationing all the time. And see, every time I go to Palm Springs, I just laugh. I look at same way. I just go for a walk and I look at some of these properties, and that's all they got are rock gardens.
Yeah.
And you might find the occasional one that's got a little spot in the back that's got maybe a 20 by 20 foot square of the nicest fucking grass you ever seen. But it's only 20 by 20, and their lot is 250 wide by 300 long, but they got this 20 by 20 little patch right off of their back patio, and it's got a couple of lawn chairs on it. It's so they can go out there in their bare feet and stand in grass, Otherwise, the rest of the damn place. This one guy, I told him, I said, "That is awesome how you got your place laid out with all these rock gardens and all that gravel and sand and stuff." And he said, "Oh, it's a bitch." I said, "Well, you don't have to mow any grass." And he goes, "I got to rake that son of a bitch at least once a month." I said, "You say what?" He says, "Well, you can't walk through it without it looking like crap. You got to rake it." He says, "I go out there and I rake my yard to get everything nice and level looking again."
Big jumbo Zen garden,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's trade-off for everything. It's just like, we got a bunch of family down in Texas, and whenever I bitch about the cost of heat up here, they go, "Yeah, try air conditioning your damn place down here." They said, "We spend just as much, if not more, annually on utility costs as you guys do up north." They said, "We got to run that damn air conditioner almost the whole year. And, you got to run a nice big central air unit if you're trying to keep your whole home cool." So, yeah, their costs are a little higher. That's okay. I get it. There's a trade-off, If you can't take the heat, get out of the fire.
Right.
Boy, that pisses them off when I tell them that. Yeah. You wanted to live down there. If you can't take the heat, get out of the fire.
Yeah, the worst example I ever got of that wasn't so much 29 Palms, but was my brother when he said he went over to Saudi Arabia back during the war. And he was saying, "Well, imagine this." He says, "Imagine you get off the plane," and it says, "When you get off, someone is holding a hairdryer on your face. The second you get off the airplane," he says, "That's what it was like most of the time we were there." But,
yeah.
Oh, that would feel lovely.
Just wonderful.
Yeah, lovely.
I talked to a guy that did what the hell do they call that? Where he's using one. It's pretty much so nothing but a supercharged dune buggy all the way across the Sahara. And the guy, he wrote a book and he was signing autographs and shit. And I thought it was cool what he did, and I'll watch your video, but okay, you're stupid. And he talked about those derby sand cars like that. He said, there's no air conditioning in them damn things. He says, you talk about freaking hot. You would think that, you're doing 50, 55 miles an hour across these sand dunes. You'd think, well, at least you got the breeze. He says, oh no. He says, put a fan on your oven door with your door open and have your oven cranked full blast. Turn that fan on, sit in the chair in front of it. That's what it felt like. He said in that car going across that desert. He said, and constant, day or night, didn't matter. He said it was just constant heat. Yeah, I can't take the heat like that anymore. I can't take the extreme heat or the extreme cold. Well, I could handle New Mexico heat. I could go down to White Sands, handle that 105 in the shade all day long. I can't handle Wisconsin when it's 85 degrees, but it's also 90% humidity.
Yeah.
I can't breathe, man. I can't move. All I do is sit and drink gallons and gallons of water.
Yeah, my wife hates air conditioning, so we don't get too many days out of the year where we have the air conditioner. We'll have fans going, have fans in the window, fans and fans and fans. But for some reason, the air conditioner in the house gives her a headache. She can deal with it at work because she has to, But that's the worst thing for me is going to work in the air conditioning and then coming home and then not being air conditioned. And then trying to go to sleep hot and sweaty. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst. When it's humid and you try to sleep, oh my God. I really get angry when I got to try to sleep in those conditions. You don't want to be around me. I
mean, it's not bad. You can actually just close everything up, turn the air conditioning on for a little bit, knock the humidity off in the house, not make the house cold or cool.
Right. But get rid of the humidity.
Yeah, and that helps.
See, I've got a fan going right over here. It's going 24/7. I've got a bigger one, oscillating fan in the bedroom. And that bugger, the bedtime, turn that sucker on. And it don't matter what time of the year it is. It's 7 days a week. Those fans are running. And I had someone tell me, well, those fans ain't going to last long if they're running like this one runs 24/7. They say, ain't going to last long. Well, it's lasted 2 years, and it's nice and quiet. It still runs like $1 million. And
they actually say fans last longer the more you've got them on.
Yeah.
It's stopping and starting in what makes them wear out.
Yeah. And never cleaning them. That'll wear them out.
Yeah, I'll do it too.
But, this one needs cleaning terribly. It's been about 3 weeks. But, yeah, about every 2 weeks, I take both fans and I tear them down, clean them all up. Everything gets cleaned so they're back like new. And but when they start getting all that dust built up on the blades, it puts a hell of a load on the motor.
Same with computers. The same leave normal tower computer and not your desktop computer. Just say leave them up, don't turn them off. Keep them running.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't clean your fans, they don't blow air very good.
Yeah.
That too. All they're sitting, they're just beating the wind. They ain't blowing nothing anymore. I went to my youngest daughter's place one time. She's got like 6 fans going, big box fans going in her house, and you can't even. I'm having a smoke, and the smoke's going straight up. I was like, that fan's pointing at me. And so I walk over and I'm feeling, and you can't feel nothing coming from the fans, but they're all on high.
Hey, Ian.
I shut one off and took the front off of it, looked, and there was a ½ inch of dust built all the way around the fan blade. It's just sitting there beating wind. It's great to see you, Ian. Yeah. The 70 in the house, I have a fan blowing directly on me. If you keep them clean too. Yeah. See, I gotta have a fan. I can't.
Hey,
unless
Jason.
I'm outdoors. If I'm outdoors, I'm good without a fan as long as I can. The only time I don't like it outdoors is when you got that perfectly still night and you can hear a thunderstorm way off in the distance rumbling away, and it's 85% humidity and there ain't no air moving. And oh God, I hate it then. Oh, yeah, because you're just a wet sack of meat laying there trying to sleep. And that thunderstorm, you're going, oh God, yes. As soon as it starts raining, I'm getting up, walking outside, and it goes past you. It comes within maybe a mile, and you can see all the rain across the lake, and you're like, you son of a bitch.
You live in one of those areas too where it always bypasses.
Yeah. See, now where I camped last year at Black Lake, and I just love it out there, except that sucker is a storm magnet. That lake is a storm magnet. It stormed constant. Running water remembers what's going on out there. Shit, I filmed from inside my screen house, sat there all day filming hail and downpours. It's just like, and I can see my kayak right outside of the place, but like, it keeps going. I can kayak around the fire pit, you know. It's nothing worse than spending 6 nights, 7 days at a campground, and you got 2 days without rain, and the 1 day without rain, nasty looking clouds constantly all day. So you don't go really do anything because you figure I'm going to get caught in that shit, but it never does. It never does rain. Yeah. So you spend all day sitting around camp waiting for the storm. It's got to happen. Look at them clouds. Oh, it never happens. So you get 1 day out of that whole week. Kayak goes in the waters, paddle my ass off, break my fucking ankle. What a wonderful week that was. That was one of those weeks. I got there the first 3 days, in and out of the rain constantly. Finally, it quit, and I put the hammock out, got in the hammock, spent 3 hours in that damn hammock looking out over the lake going, oh, now it's beautiful. Get out of the hammock, step in a gopher hole, and break my fucking ankle.
Oh, my God.
And then the next day, I'm thinking, can I finish out the week or do I have to head home? And I figured I gotta head home. What's it do? It starts to rain. Oh yeah, put all your gear away now with that busted ankle in the rain. I've got high hopes for this season. Very high hopes for this season. You know, it's really cool. It's really cool to see my members with the canoe avatar now. It's neat to see the upgrade from the tent to the canoe. Really neat. We're at that point. I got to show off my members, of course. I'm going to start out with my hikers. There's the hikers: Saucy Shane, Faith in the Fallen, Teresa LaGuerra, Loopy Lisa, Lady Reaper, Suze X, Carolyn Kennard, John's Travels, The Hunt for Heat, Prince of Darkness, Nicholas Green Outdoors, Canoe Hound Adventures, Joe W., and Bounty by Observation. And then we've got our campers, our camper members, Mike's World, Running Water, and Dojo's Allotment Specialist. Awesome. Then we got our outdoor lovers, Crazy Ann, Donald Morris, Everything Spicy, Native Grammy, and Get Her Done Granny. Awesome. Awesome folks. All of them. So anybody out there that doesn't have any of those channels, get over and check them out. Check their channels out. What are you doing, Phil?
The Disappearing Dojo.
What the hell? How the hell did he end up in the basement? Get out of the basement.
I hit the wrong button.
Obviously. You shouldn't have been leaning against the basement door like that. He was leaning against the basement door, and it popped open. Boom, 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 down the steps.
The top row. We are family. Do, do,
That,
do.
I
I
tell you
got
what,
my brothers and me. Do, do. We are family. Stand up, everybody.
so is that Grandpa Sty, Old Man Sty, and Sty Jr. down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, yeah. That's the patriarch of the clan right there.
There you go.
He
Shut
thinks
up,
he's
boy.
in charge, right?
Shut up, boy.
Water.
Boy.
See,
Grandpa thinks he's in charge.
Shut up, boy.
it's obviously a fake. There's way too much hair on the head to be of the family. Yeah.
Well,
You were adopted. Shut up.
Yeah. And then they sent me back.
that, you know how you were adopted, Running Water? You were adopted by association, because if you were adopted, that means I had to have been. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well,
my whole life, as soon as I was old enough to be told, and I didn't understand it until I was in my teens, that I was the milkman's kid. Those were back in the days when they brought you your milk to your house, you know. And yeah, I was told even by my dad, you're just the milkman's kid.
I always got told I was found underneath the gooseberry bush.
The what bush?
The gooseberry bush.
The gooseberry. Must be a UK thing.
I don't know.
Gooseberry. You don't know what gooseberries are?
Who? What?
Gooseberry?
Gooseberries. Gooseberries.
Gooseberries.
Yeah.
Gooseberry.
Yeah.
Maybe they do in West Virginia, but they don't in Michigan.
The gooseberry bush.
I always got told I was found underneath there.
Oh.
My
And my sister was found in a dustbin.
Well, at least you weren't in the garbage, right? My grandfather, Ducky, my dad brings him to the hospital when I was born so that he could see his new grandson. They go to the nursery, and he looks in the nursery, and there was only 2 kids in there, me and this other little boy. The other little boy was a redhead, little ginger. I had pitch black hair. I was a pretty hairy little bugger. And my dad said, your grandfather walked right over and was staring at that little redheaded kid, just going, boy, he's a good-looking boy. He's a good-looking boy. And he said, when I told him, no, this is our son right here, he said, don't give me any shit. That's our kid there. That's the one we're taking home. Well, that was nice to hear. What a nice birth story, you know. It was bad enough that when I was born, the doctor bounced me off the floor a couple times and said, congratulations, you had a bouncing baby boy.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. And then he slapped my mother.
Well, I'll never forget that with Mariah. You know, whenever she'd have her tantrum, her big catch line was, "I must have been adopted." And then you chimed in that one time like, "You were," and then they made us take you back.
Yeah. Yeah. I told her flat out, yeah, we put you up for adoption, gave you away. Also, we got a pounding on the damn door. I went down to the door and they shoved you in the front door and said, you're keeping her. We're not taking her back. You got to have her. She's yours. Deal's off. And they tore up the adoption papers right there in front of me. Damn it. Some kids, you can't even get rid of them. Girl Scout camp for 3 days. On the first day, 2 hours into, I stepped in a hole and twisted my foot. My foot swelled up, and I still hiked. And all 3 days. You wouldn't have on the ankle I had last year. I guarantee you wouldn't have, especially after I saw the X-rays. If you would have, I managed.
Now,
to
if you wear snowshoes,
what's that?
now if you wear snowshoes year round, you can avoid those holes.
Oh, Jesus, you're so freaking bright. I mean, he's the brightest crayon in the box. He's the brightest crayon in the box. And that's the only box I ever seen that came with one crayon in it.
It's all yours.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, after the fact, had you out there hiking on that bad foot. Woo-hoo. The mailman's daughter, but I told them maybe the mail woman's daughter looked too much like my dad. Oh, that was our youngest one. I tell you what, she was totally, I mean, no doubt unexpected. And I kept telling the wife, telling her, you know, we're gonna add the DNA thing on this. Gotta. There's no way. You should not know. There's no way you should be. Well, when that kid was born, I looked at her and I go, ah, shit. No need for DNA when she looked like the family. I mean, she looked like my side of the family. But as she got older, she started looking more like her mother. And she started acting like her, too. That's why she lives 3.5 hours away from me. And if she moved closer, I'd have to move farther.
I just looked at the chat in the corner of my eyes because I haven't been taking any notice of it. I'm like,
You're just noticing. Hey, yeah, don't say Dojo doesn't belong to nobody. He gave himself away. She didn't take him. He gave himself away. He said, "Oh, if you really want me," now she can't get rid of him. That's frogs at Granny's, yeah.
Yep.
yeah, I take hearing that noise.
Y'all too
Yeah,
quiet.
we like to go with the crickets, not
Y'all
frogs.
if y'all can hear the frog, y'all are too quiet.
Oh, that it?
Yeah.
Yep.
If we're hearing frogs, somebody better start talking about something.
We got to talk about something to make Granny blush again. That was fun. She was really involved in the chat that night too. She had some good input.
I didn't get a chance today, and I've got it in my watch later list. Yeah. I have definitely got to watch it. Well, you can't live with Granny. You can't get on her porch.
Live with me, you gotta work.
Yeah. You'll never have a lazy moment.
One of my twin girls got to run the gas weed eater today. She wanted to try it. She got it started. She done it herself, and she got it up and put the strap on and everything. She's standing there and she pulls the trigger. She pulls the trigger. Let's go real fast. Says, "Oh my God, that's scary!"
It's scaring her.
She about cracked me up. She finally got the hang of it though.
That's good. That's good. The what are those, Phil? Are those toilet brushes?
They're banjos.
From
What do you mean?
way across the room, they look like toilet brushes up there.
Because it makes sense to have toilet brushes emojis on YouTube.
Then
You
on the
know,
screen, it just look like big squares.
I asked some clients out in camp my last year out at camp. I think it was the last group of clients I had. I asked them, have any of you had what you would consider your scariest moment out in the woods? And they're all kind of looking at each other like, I don't know. This one guy, he just looked serious as hell. And I go, you look like you had a scary moment. What was it? Come on, tell us. He goes, well, this is going to sound kind of weird. He says, but we were out in the woods. There was 4 of us and 2 of us to a tent. He said, middle of the night, and he was saying that he could hear the peepers, the frogs down at this little lake they were by. And he says those peepers sounded so neat. And he said, and all of a sudden he woke up his buddy and said, hey, are you hearing what I'm hearing? And they could hear someone on a banjo playing dueling banjos way off in the distance. It took me a moment, and I go, oh, that's a scary moment, man. Yeah, you're not kidding. You're way out in the middle of the woods, and you hear dueling banjos, a banjo playing way off in the sticks. He says, yeah, it was scary. It was about 25 miles from the nearest civilization. And all of a sudden you hear someone playing dueling banjos out in the woods, and you got 4 guys here in camp. I said, yeah, that would have made me pack up and go home. So what's with the toilets? To go with the brushes?
Brush, so I just put a toilet up there. See if they had any toilet brushes. They don't.
Yeah, we'll see you, Prince.
I still love that movie. Maybe an old movie, but
the what?
The Deliverance.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen it?
I said I love that movie.
Oh, you love that movie? Yeah, there's only one scene in there I don't like. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I think the movie's great. It's just that one scene that is just, I mean,
upsetting thing, and it's like they didn't need to do that.
yeah. They could have implied it. They could have,
It's like the movies. You watch them. They put a brilliant movie on, no matter what it is. It goes brilliant. You think this is a good movie. Why do they always have to stick a sex scene in it?
Yeah, they got to squeeze that in there somewhere, right?
Well, I love the TV guide description of it. Is friends go on a river trip and things go awry. That's all they tell you.
Right.
That's fun.
They're going to have a bad canoe trip. Yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't tell you it's the worst possible bad canoe trip you could imagine.
That's right. Or stay out of West Virginia.
That's it. And I'll tell you, somebody in one of those canoes had to have been thinking, I told you we should have brought a pig. I told you that we should have brought a pig.
I swear I went camping to one place one time, and I swear to God, it looked like that kind of a place that I went to. I was driving, it was a dirt road, and all of a sudden it looked like I was driving right into somebody's yard. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
God, where the hell was that? It is a lot of years ago, but I did that too. I was driving backwoods country roads and didn't have a clue where the hell I was headed. I just knew east, west, north, and south, and I just knew that, well, if I turn around and go back the way that I came, I know where I'll get to, So I'll just keep going, and the road's getting narrower and narrower. Next thing you know, the tree branches are rubbing on the roof, and your mirrors are getting knocked in, and it's like, ew, this is getting tight. And then all of a sudden it opened up a little bit, and there's this little frickin' old gas station, and it was a Texaco. Had the big star emblem, light out front, all these old rusty gas station motor oil signs and stuff on the front of it, and it had one old frickin' pump out front, and there's a couple of old boys sitting on the porch. And as I'm pulling up thinking I'm going to stop and ask them, does this road go all the way through? And the two of them are sitting there doing this with their heads.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Guess what? I turned around and went right back the way I came because I knew that road. I had been on it. Going the other direction, I seen them movies. No, don't go past that gas station because they'll be selling barbecue sandwiches tomorrow. Yeah, no, turn your ass right around, go back.
Wrong turn.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, an old Texaco station. E-Waste Mike knows what I'm talking about.
That's right.
We used to have them over here, Texaco station one time ago.
Big old, what was it, red sign with a white star on it, Texaco?
And the white star. Yep.
There's still actually one gas station still there, but they're using it as a museum. I've still got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in fact,
they was going to demolish it. They was going to demolish it. And when they took the old roof off, it had the old petrol station roof with it domed. And they realised it was a listed building. So they made it into a museum. With all the gas pumps in, all the old gas pumps, all the old stuff you used to buy. And
yeah, we used to have a old Phillips 76 right up the corner from our house. It had a big orange ball. It just had a 76 on it.
Yep. Hey, before running water was born, they closed our A&W and they converted it into what they called the Minnetonka Drive-In. But when they closed the A&W, they had taken that big round A&W ball that was out above the building, taken it off, and they had it in the back. And that thing was back there, and kids were going back there rolling that thing around all the time. They didn't know where they'd find it in the parking lot in the morning, And I asked the folks, because my parents knew that family from day one when they first came into that town and established the A&W. And that was back, that was like 1951. They built those A&W. And I asked them, I said, that ball's gonna, one of these days, some bitch gonna end up out on the highway out there and get hit. What are you gonna do with that? And they said, you want it? Oh, yeah, I think that thing's cool. Well, shit, I was 17 years old. I'm dumb. You should have seen me trying to tie that son of a bitch on the roof of a 65 Chevy Bel Air. I finally got it tied on there. I had to crawl through the window because the ropes were go down and tied to the door handles. So I had to climb through the window to get in the car. And I drove that damn ball home. It's about 2.5, 3 miles home with that big ball on the roof of my car. I'm just proud. Get it to the house. I really didn't realize how big that son of a bitch was until I got it off the car. And I went to roll it in the garage, and I'm going, oh my God. I had to actually put a shoulder in it to squeeze it under the garage door, because with the garage door all the way open, it just barely fit in the garage. And that thing sat in the garage for about a year and a half. And then I had the garage door open one day, and I heard these brakes lock up and these squealing tires. And here's some guy slammed on the brakes. He's got a pickup truck, and he comes backing up, and he comes down our driveway. And I thought, what the hell's he on? What's, is it like he's in a panic or something? He jumps out of his truck, and he goes, that A&W ball. And I go, yeah, huh? What about it? He goes, you wouldn't be willing to sell it, would you? I said, maybe. All depends on what you're willing to pay. He goes, unless you can wait for about a week, he says, all I can spring right now and all I got on me is $400. Oh. I said, I don't know. I could wait a week, but I guess I'll do you this favor. I'll take the 4. And he goes, can you give me a hand putting that in the truck? I said, fuck no. I had to put it on the roof of my car all by myself. I had to take it off of it. It's your ball now. You put it on the car, in the truck. And he looked just as goofy as I did when I brought it home, when he pulled out with that big ass A&W ball in the back of his truck. And I asked him, what are you going to do with that? And he said, oh shit, that's going in my front yard, man. He says, I gotta have it. And I know this gal over in Ironwood, Michigan. She's kind of goofy, but we had a big boy, right, in Ironwood, Michigan. Just out there holding his big burger. Yep, out there holding the big hamburger out in front of the restaurant. Well, they shut it down, and they were going to demolish that. They got out there and they had this truck with a big. It basically had a excavator mounted on the back of it with a big jaws on it. They're going to smash it and tear it down. And she swung in there and she said, "Hey, you can't kill the big boy." She said, "Can you carefully lower him on a trailer?" And they said, "You got the trailer, we can." She ran home and they had a big trailer. They come over there and they set the big boy on her trailer. She hauled that son of a bitch home, took him into her backyard and stuck him in the woods. So when you go to her house, she's got a big yard. It's about 2.5 acre yard. But you look in her backyard and standing in the woods is Big Boy holding his burger.
That's sort of thing you'd see in another movie, wouldn't it? Walking through the woods and going.
Yeah. Well, just think about it. I mean, if her down the road, I bet you that Big Boy will probably last longer than her house. And 60, 70 years from now, there's nobody there anymore. The house is abandoned, and somebody goes out there to check the place out and sees that big old bastard standing in the woods.
Going back to the
what kind of people lived here?
There's a big boy in the woods there, and everyone looking at you, gone out thinking you've gone crazy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Used to be Elias Brothers restaurant here.
Yeah. But I get a kick.
Well, I had this.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I had this one load I picked up out of it's just outside of Branson, Missouri. That it's private customer that requested flatbed out there.
Alexander.
And we get out to the location. They said had ordered 4 of us trucks to come out there, and it was hauling stuff to this museum out in Las Vegas. It's like, all right, we get out there. It's just a bunch of barns and lean-tos out there. We got the weirdest cargo. It was these roller coaster cars, all shaped like different animals. And it's like, well, what are these? He's like, well, that's for Jesus land. He's like, they ordered these, we built them, and then they lost their funding. They never built the park. He's like, and they've been sitting here since the 70s. Yeah, and he's sending them out to this place out in Las Vegas that is making up a big museum of old, defunct amusement park rides. Had carousel horses and stuff,
See,
and
that's the thing, Running Water. Yet that's something that I don't think I ever told you either. Your mom and I, we had a chance, and of course she wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me because you remember Gary Sarver? He was a teacher up in Bayfield. He owns property right next to that cabin we had that was on his ex-wife's property. He owned 40 acres in there. And he told me, he says, Sty, you get that, you can put it on there. He says, I'm good with it. I had a chance to buy a whole carousel. And it was a sweet deal. It was a sweet deal. $6,000. And it was a 38 horse carousel. That's a lot of horses.
Mm-hmm.
And fully functional. They said that the carousel organ still worked just fine, played the music and shit. And they said it needs general maintenance, but they said, and that was a rolling carnival outfit that would lease rides to other carnivals. And they said that they felt the carousel had seen its days, and they had replaced it, and it's just sitting there in their yard. And they said, "We'll deliver it, but it's going to cost you $6,000 for the whole works." I was at that time I could have swung the $6,000, and the ex-wife wouldn't let me have my own merry-go-round. I wanted a merry-go-round for crying out
That
loud.
would have been a fun thing for kids to grow up with.
Oh, to hell with the kids.
Daddy would have been riding it.
That's it. I would have been in that carousel riding around. Yeah.
Yeah, problem is
fast enough that the kids can't jump on.
Well, problem is, we had we had an old guy down there in Iowa that he had bought it was just a single carousel horse, and it had the post and the the full assembly for it. Well, he had taken and he put it out. He had all this eclectic decor in his yard, all kinds of old lawn ornament, specialty type stuff that people just got rid of. It looked like a attraction in his yard, and he had it in the back corner, and that had it hooked up to just a small little motor, so that horse would just go up and down. It's just hanging out there by the woods. And he said he likes it. It's real nice to look at, but every fall he has to go in there and patch in bullet holes because people think it's a deer running through the woods.
I almost bought from the Ben Franklin over in Mound, Minnesota, one of them big horses that are out front of the store. You drop a nickel in and they're fucking rocks. Yeah. I almost bought that from the Ben Franklin store, and they sold the damn thing for $400, and it was because they were shutting the store down, and they just wanted to get rid of it. They had it there since 1953. To them it was just in the way. If we can get some money for it, $400, and it was in such good shape. I wouldn't have had to have painted it or nothing. It was in awesome condition. And I thought, yeah, that thing would be fun to haul it around, have it out in the yard, run an extension cord to it, let the kids go ride on it, or I could go out there after midnight and with a big cup of Sty tea and go riding myself.
I can just see that.
I almost made it to Wyoming, but I was $1.25 short.
I can see that now. Sty sitting out there on his little Bronco in the front yard with his cup, waving at people driving by.
I'm on my way. Gonna take a while, but I'll get there. Yeah.
Still there 10 years later with your beard down here.
But that's like those bucking bronco kid toys with the springs.
Oh,
Things
the
were
dangerous
dangerous.
bastards don't. Don't.
Oh,
I got one of those when I was a little kid, and it was a big bastard. It was one of the big ones, and the springs were about an inch and a half around and long. Boy, that sucker rocked like a son of a bitch, and I'm rocking, just giving her hell. And I got that sucker reared right up, and okay, I'm about 5 years old, and I slid off the ass end of the horse, and my legs came down on the springs. Back. Well, it's totally extended like that, so the springs were all stretched out. And when my legs came down, when I came off the horse and my legs hit those springs, well, there's no weight on the horse, so the horse goes flying forward, and the springs collapse right on the insides of my thighs. Oh my freaking God! I can remember I was screeching like a hoot owl with a his ass. I mean, my mom was running in there like, "What the hell? Are you dying?" Yeah. And she's trying to pull me off the thing, and I'm screaming, "No, don't pull me, no!" Because I mean, all that skin is pinched in those springs. And my dad comes running in the room. And, what the hell he do to himself now? And he looked and he goes, "Oh, that's." He tells her, "Get a hold of him." And he walks over. He just pushes the ass into that horse down, and it stretches springs out. She lifted me off the springs. But for weeks, I had like about 10 lines down the insides of my thighs, towards the back and the inside of my thighs. 10, they're like big, long blood blisters from them springs pinching all that skin together. Oh my God, that hurt. That really hurt. That was, yeah. I think if somebody grabbed my wiener with a pliers, it would have felt better. That's how bad it was. I'm telling you. And she's thinking, well, if I was there, we would have tried it and said, does that feel better or worse? Here, Sty, let's try that. No. The springs are fine. Don't do that. Do you have any pictures? No. Thank God there were no pictures of that when I was a kid. Did I hear grab my wiener? See, E-Waste Mike is like so many others around here. Selective hearing. You know, they hear one or two words and then all of a sudden, whoa, where are we at? Hey, good night, JCT.
Good night, JC.
See you later. With the pliers, yeah. With the pliers. Not good.
I'd say the toy that probably got us in the most trouble was that electric 4x4, that Jeep. That Jeepy guys got us, running each other over.
Oh, yeah. Learn that hearing trick from your dad. Yeah. We used to do that with my one granddad because we weren't sure if he was deaf or not,
Right.
Because sometimes, what? Say what? Because there were times where you'd say something at a low tone and he'd go, "What did you just say?" "Nothing." "Oh, yes, you did. I know what you said." And it's like, How the hell did you hear that? Last time I told you, I said, Grandpa, because he lived in a cottage on our property. He'd come to the main house all the time. I told him one time, I'm yelling at him, Grandpa, it's time to go home. Mom said you're supposed to go home. And he goes, what the hell does your mom want with my comb? He says, Christ, man, hat off. He says, I got no hair. What the hell would I be doing with a comb? I said, no, go home. He goes, I told you I got no damn comb. I said, okay. Crazy old fart. Scream and yell at you and you don't understand a damn thing. But, I think his hearing would come and go. When he was a young man, he had a lumber mill, right? Big mill. He had, counting all the sawyers, he had over 45 guys working for him at the time. And it was a steam mill, ran on steam. Well, those old steam mills, there's so many pulleys and belts running everywhere in those mills. Off of the main steam engine, that's turning the main saw. Plus, it's powering up all of these conveyors. It's powering up the planer to finish the lumber. It's powering all these different things up. So there's all these belts running everywhere. Well, he had a new hand working on the mill, and the guy is going to saw this big poplar tree. Well, popple's bad for sawing because it swells up. If you don't saw it fast, you got to run it through quickly. Hey, Bentleys, good to see you, Richard. You got to run that popple log through real fast, otherwise it'll seize up on the blade. Well, this guy's not running it through fast enough, and it seized up on the blade. So my grandfather told him, he says, he's yelling at him because that thing starts hopping on the blade and it's pounding on the sawing deck. Boom, 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 boom. It's going to bust shit up. So my granddad run over, pulled the power off of it, and told the guy, now you hold this damn lever and don't you let that thing go. He says, I'll get that saw blade reversed off of that log, and once it's loose, then we'll fire it up. He gets on top of the log. That blade's right in front of him. And he's got this tool that he gets under the tooth of the blade and pries, and it turns the blade backwards. And he's doing that, turning that blade backwards. This big steam engine's still running. All the power is still there. All that's keeping that blade from turning is this guy holding the lever. Right? And he turned around and he told that guy, he says, don't forget, don't release that until I say go. And all the guy heard, selective hearing, go. He released the sound bit, and this huge ass blade starts spinning at about 600-700 RPM instantly. But and so my grandfather jumped up because he's going to fall into the blade. The log's moving forward. He's going to fall right into that damn blade, get cut right in half. So he jumped up, stood up. Well, all those pulleys, there were 2 pulleys right above where he was standing with belts running through them. He stood up and his head went in between those 2 pulleys, and they scraped his face up pretty good. But the worst part was his ears got caught in the belts, and it tore both of his ears off. And his ears were just hanging, laying on his chest here by skin. And he just turned around. They said that guy had stopped the mill, fortunately. He said he just walked off the end of the log, went to the medic's tent. They had a camp doctor, they called him, but he was just a medic, drunk old guy, I guess. He went in there holding his ears up on his head, and the medic asked him what's wrong, and he pulled his hands away, and his ears fell back on his chest. He says, can you put those back on? And the guy stitched them on. Well, his glasses, the guy stitched them on. He was drunk, and he stitched them on all crooked as shit. And they healed that way. And his glasses, you couldn't set his glasses with the bows open on a table because they'd tip way over because the bows were like that. One ear was almost 3/4 of an inch shorter, lower than the other ear. The guy stitched them on so ass backwards that his ears weren't straight across anymore from each other. And that's why he couldn't hear worth a shit. I'm surprised he was able to hear it all after having that happen to him. And he'd let you look. You know, he was all he had was that band of hair that runs from your ears around the back of your head, and the egg's nest kind of, the bird's nest kind of look. Bald head with hair around the back. And us kids get right up there and look. The scar tissue around it was so obvious. It was so obvious where they were both tore off and put back on. And
I have an excuse for my hearing.
What's that?
Hey?
What did you say?
Hey? Well, I can't hear you. I took my hearing aid out, what?
See, and Dojo, I never tell somebody that's got a hearing impairment or speech impairment or sight impairment or anything, I don't say to someone that has bad eyes, what, can't you see that? I don't say that shit to them. That ain't nice. Because they can't see it, And so someone with hearing aids, avoid going, what the hell's the matter with you? Are you deaf?
I'm going to run that radio at somebody there. When I was at school, one of the teachers didn't realise I was deaf. All the other teachers knew I was deaf when I wore hearing aids. And I was in one class and I didn't quite hear him. And I said, what you say? And he went, blah, blah, blah. I said, I still can't hear what you're actually telling me. Because he sat me at the back of the class, where all the other teachers sat me at the front of the class. And he went,
back because you can't hear.
And he went to me, are you deaf or something? At the top of his voice. And I stood up and went, for a matter of fact, I fucking well am. And he thought I was messing about, and he sent me to the headmaster's office. And the headmaster come out, what are you? I went for telling the truth. He went, why, what happened? So I told him. He went back into the class with me. He said to the teacher, he said, what did you send him here for? He said, he stood up. I asked him a question, if he's deaf or something. And he said, yes, as a matter of fact, I fucking am. And the headmaster went, for a matter of fact, he bloody is. He looked in my ears. He went, oh.
Oh, shit. Oh, boy, did I just stick both feet in my mouth. Oh, shit. Yeah. Don't be too quick to judge, right? I mean,
but it's funny how all the other teachers in the old school knew I had hearing aids and deaf from him.
And this granddad of mine, and it wasn't that he was totally deaf. If you were right close to him and kind of yelling at him, he picked up 90% of what you were saying. And, oh, yeah, I mean, they went through the whole process and got him a hearing aid for the one good, what they considered the best ear he had. The old fart never wear it. My dad was chewing them out all the time saying, would you wear your hearing aid? And he goes, nah, I don't want no mechanics. He says, no mechanics. And I would always laugh and I go, that's why he don't wear his damn teeth either. Because that old boy, he didn't have no damn teeth. He had brand new dentures in his bathroom. He says, I ain't putting them damn things in my mouth. They're not mine, he says. And my dad kept telling him, the hell they're not, you paid for them.
But my dad, it's weird, my dad didn't go deaf until he was 18. And I was born deaf.
Uh-huh. The challenges that people go through in that, but then other people don't realize how folks that have certain things that are limited, like sight or hearing or that and especially if they're born with it, any type of improvement seems great. I mean, it's great because they've never experienced that before.
Like me, I went from analog hearing aids to digital hearing aids. When I got my digital hearing aids, wow, what a lot of difference I could hear. I stood there going, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I'm hearing shit now.
I looking around going, what's all these noises?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
Going on around me all this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I come out of the hospital that first day I got my digital ones. There was an old fella stood next to me, he just got the same ones. And there was an old guy, he must have been about 30 foot in front of us. I could hear his walking stick. And the old boy was watching him and he went, and I looked at him, he went, can you wear that as well? I went, yeah. He went, I've never heard that old boy's walking stick in my entire life.
Wow. Hey Joe, cool solar generator for your van. That's cool. I'm getting one more. I'll probably do that next week. Order it. I'm getting one more deep cycle for the adventure trailer, and then I'm set. I'll have enough power in my adventure trailer for the things I use that I can do 14 days without a recharge. So all I got to do is find somewhere to plug in my charger, and in about 8 hours, I'm charged back up for another 14 days. So I wasn't going to spend all the money on solar. I just wasn't, because most of the places I put my trailer, there ain't no freaking sun. Everybody keeps telling me, you got to get solar panels, And the folks I know that use them, well, they go to campsites that are nice and open. They got a great view of the southern or western sky. So they're getting between 60 and 80% of all the sunlight during the day in that campsite. The campsites I go in, because I insist on them being as remote and secluded as possible, I might get an hour of sunlight that would generate juice. I mean, otherwise it's just a trickle. You're getting a little sunlight. So the investment, just making sure that my equipment is very efficient, and those deep cycles will run the equipment I need to run. So I can run my laptop, I can charge all my equipment, my batteries, all that crap. Plus I can run my CPAP machine for 14 days plus off of the system. So and my total cost in it is about $250. And it's guaranteed for 14 days. So it can rain and storm and be nasty for 14 days, and I'm still powered up. And so that's what I was really concerned about. Michelle, taking off on the 6th. Yep. Back on your big adventures. Yeah. I watched your stream today for a while, Richard. Yeah, the kids are following you down to St. Louis. That's cool. And then after you have a little family time down there, they're heading home, and you're heading back out on the road on your adventure. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I was down on Azalea as well.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I think I was the first one in the chat, I think.
Yeah, you can get some pretty decent solar units that you can keep all your peripherals, your phones, your cameras, and all that stuff all topped off and charged real nice. You can charge LED lights and that kind of stuff, and so you got nice, great lighting and all that. And you can charge energy pack and use that to charge up your laptop. And it's worth it, especially you're going to spend a lot of road time. If you're out on the road and you can have those panels operating, that's a big benefit.
Well, one of the plans for the shed is, running that conduit out and putting an extra breaker in the house so we can have isolated power. And I was thinking, since we're going to put that parking pad out there, I want to put an outlet over towards that front end of the shed on the outside so we can, you could charge your stuff out there, just run a cord into the trailer if you wanted. But then during the winter, we can also plug our cars in.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be doing anything with it at all in the winter. But then if you want to work outside with power tools, it's nice to have that exterior outlet right off the garage, off the shed. But I'm mounting, it's like an RV outlet.
Right.
In the adventure trailer. And then everything's going to be hooked up to that. All I got to do is pull my heavy cable out, plug it into the trailer, and stick it in the socket somewhere, just like at an RV park, all you need is a grounded plug. And that would be sweet. Shit, I could come over there and stay in the trailer right at your house with power. I could live stream from the trailer.
Yeah, well, we're moving the Wi-Fi in the house. That's what we're doing this next home time is we're running the wire under the floor and putting the router up in that doorway by the kitchen. So it'll completely cover the whole backyard, but then have it right there by the TV so we can direct line the PlayStations.
Huh. Good idea. Those smaller solar chargers, the little hand-sized ones. I've talked to a few folks that haven't had good luck with them, and I've talked to others that are through hikers, and they hang them on their backpacks, especially when they're hiking west or they're hiking north, and they charge all day because they're out on the backpack, and they say they function pretty good for their cell phone or to keep their spot charged, if they're carrying GPS, rescue GPS. Have you seen these ads for these little goddamn trackers that you can buy now? They're a little star-shaped tracker. You can stick them to anything.
Oh, yeah, you best be able to stick them in your car, stick them here, stick them there. Yeah.
You can track on your smartphone that vehicle as it's moving around. Or you can drop it in somebody's pocket and track them while they're walking around.
I've got two.
Do you?
Yeah. And they work all right.
Yeah. I'm real tempted just to drop one in my truck and one in the trailer. Just, if somebody ever managed to cut all the locks off my trailer and take off with it.
I've got one sat on my bike and one sat on my dog collar.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That was something they mentioned too, is you can put it on a dog collar, with the pet. So if you got a dog that sometimes gets out and takes off, at least you're not going the wrong direction looking for him.
I think there was two for a couple of quid. I thought, if they don't work, I'm not wasting a lot of money. I thought I'd give it a try, so I bought them. I stuck one on my bag, rigged it to my phone. I walked off. I thought I'll just walk away from the bag because I'm not going to know if it's. And I went a mile up the road where my allotment is, put the tracker on my phone, and I could see it was flashing where my bike was in my back garden.
So that's good to hear. I was looking at those, and I just tempted, but not sure. That's good to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, they sound pretty neat. I've got one of those small little back tracker GPS deals. It just has the compass deal, and I get to a location. It's like, oh, I like this lake or this waterfall. I can take and put it as a preset. So if I want to get right back to that spot, it will just point me in the direction. And it doesn't give you any of the topographicals or any roads or anything. It just tells you you're going the right way. So you can they were originally designed to find your car in a parking lot. It's like, yeah, I'm parked here. So you go in the store and you come back out. It's like it'll point you to your car, but it's pretty handy when you're out hiking.
Sci-fi movie you ever seen? Somebody's got a tracker that's going beep 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 beep. I found it. There it is. Oh, okay. Beep.
Oh,
beep.
that tracker
Hey,
does.
Siri Watson. Hi.
You can get them other trackers, can't you? They're a bit different what you were just saying. It doesn't actually tell you where your vehicle is. It'll tell you whereabouts it is in that area.
Yeah. Well, early GPS, our biologists for the they got to get all the new technology the day it comes out, even though next year it's going to be doubly better and they're going to want the new shit again. And so we got to pay for new shit again. Well, they're very early GPS. They were so proud of that shit. It'll put you within 50 feet of any location. Put you within 50 feet. That is awesome. And now, it's going to put you within 1 meter. So 3 feet. I mean, you could be in the thickest woods and you can see 3 feet in front of you. If it gets you within 3 feet of a point, you can't beat that shit. Well, back then, 50 feet. Boy, get us within 50 feet. And they would tag timber wolves and other critters, bears, and try to track them with that. Well, if a bear is 50 feet away from you, you might not even see the son of a bitch. So, and you can't go busting around in the bush looking for them. If it says within 3 feet, you can tell, we're getting close enough. He's right over there,
Well, that's, like for a lot of us drivers now, we've got tracking apps, for, high value loads that they want to make sure, where the truck's at, that we're moving and stuff. It gets right down, and you can pull it up and it'll automatically pull up Google Earth for you. You zoom in, it's right on the parking spot you're in. It's got it right down. I'm in this parking spot. I walk into the store and back, and it tracks me across the map going into the store. They know where I'm at the whole time. It's like, yeah.
Hey, miscellaneous magnets. Oops. I was supposed to let Ann say that.
Hey, Michelin magnets.
Michelin. Not Michelin.
Michelin man.
No, I was thinking about the Michelin man. Yeah, I was.
Hey, Sherry Watson, that fellow way over there in the top corner, that's running water. That's my oldest boy. That's my oldest son. I wouldn't have admitted it. Yeah.
And this is Grandpa.
Magnets. I said it.
That's Grandpa Sty. Yeah, right. You all leave Ann alone. She can say it however she wants to. Yeah, Cindy, you can get all as tough as you want over there in the chat. Kimberly was here earlier.
Yeah, Kimberly's here. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love her Norwegian accent. It's just
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's fun.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
For one thing, us Americans over here, we really like certain accents, and the Norwegian accent is just, there's something pleasant about it. It's just good. Just love it. Yeah.
Yep. It's very delightful.
Yeah. And it must be because I was raised in Minnesota amongst all the Norwegians over there. Having to put up with Sven and Oli all the time.
Yeah, I got trouble with say some words. It's hard. I don't know.
Hunt for Heat saying so. English is not her native language. Are you calling her a native
Who?
or a savage or what? So let her do her version of English. Yeah. Hey, Bonnie.
Hey, Bounty.
Hey, Bounty.
Do it, huh?
Hey, Bounty.
I can say English, not
Yeah,
English.
yeah, miscellaneous. Yeah, not in here, please. Yeah, on a private conversation, maybe. Hey, Hike with Mike. Great to see you, bud. I think I got three. I've got three videos yet, Mike, that I got to catch up on it over on your channel. I did watch one today and commented, of course. Yeah, you responded to that.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
The tuck tail and hide them out. See it. Miscellaneous. Michelin man.
Miscellaneous.
Michelin.
Miscellaneous magnet.
Yes, very well
No,
done.
miscellaneous magnet.
Wishy magnets.
I didn't say that now.
Wishy magnets.
Be nice with me now.
Wishy.
Yeah. Well, we got this new driver. He's got the thickest, heaviest Cockney type accent. Can't understand 99% of what he says. The only word that he says that makes absolute sense is simultaneously. He can say that just fine. But everything else,
he's just does he have?
He said it's Cockney. He's not. Yeah. He's out of the UK. Yeah, and
it's a language over here. They call them Cockneys.
Yeah. It's a
thank you
reappropriation of English. Really, you know, they got their own meanings for their words. Yeah.
It's more of a it's a London accent. They call them Cockneys.
Cockney.
Cockney.
Yeah, I found out.
Yeah.
I found out that there's so many different dialects within Britain that
Scousers, you got Cockneys, you got Northerners, you got.
Yeah.
You always who always screws me up is Gemma Harvey. She always sounds like
she's
Gemma and
not quite sure Gemma.
And that Chile had
she
Scott Spanish.
Yeah, he was drunk on the panel. Yeah. When he get drunk, yeah, he's yeah.
I can't even remember where she's from.
If you get a Scot with a real strong accent, they're a bitch to understand. You got to be around them a lot to be able to pick up and then get used to it to be able to pick them up.
A Scot with a strong accent, they're the Highlanders. They're the one deep into Scotland.
Yeah.
Really rich.
Yeah.
My grandmother was from Scotland, and other people couldn't understand a word she was saying. To me, it wasn't any different. Because that's what I grew up with.
You've even got the Irish. Some of them have got really strong accents as well.
Yeah, you can get some Irishmen that are really strong. Yeah.
This guy, it's real interesting when we have, there's a lot of words in the English language that don't work out well across the pond.
Yeah.
We had, driver meeting this last fall, before it started snowing, and was announcing that, the company had made orders and they'll be handing out free muffs to everyone. He lost it. Free muffs.
Muffs. Yep.
Yeah, everyone gets a free muff. He lost it, just laughing and howling.
Do I get to
Rest
pick
of them,
mine? Do I get to pick my own?
he's like, I love America.
It's like here, isn't it? You say cigarettes, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we say fags, but over in America,
Fags, yeah.
fags
They're
mean
fags
something
over
completely
there.
different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But see, now here in the U.S., in the 1960s and the very early 70s, a fag was a piece of fat wood for starting a fire.
Oh my God.
It was just a stick for starting a fire. You know, fat wood that's full of resins. Those were called fags. Yeah, you'd start a fire with a faggot.
Bag it.
Yeah, oh, I'm not kidding. That's what I learned in Boy Scouts. Boys, these are faggots. And when you go to light a fire, you use a fag. You get one end of it burning like a match, and you use that to start your fire. So we're out there starting our fires with faggots.
Oh, excuse me.
And if you were to teach kids that today, oh, I think you get in trouble. Well, I found out from Loopy Lisa, and it made me laugh my ass off.
Great song, thank you.
What did I tell her that night, Anne, to get off her fanny?
Oh yeah. She was wet. Kids was wet.
Sty, don't say that to me. What?
You could over here.
He's a super
Hey, thank you so much. Hey, way too son, Michelle. You don't need to be doing that. You really don't.
Yeah, keep doing that.
That's to me though, is they're giving me back something I gave to them for their travel fund. And so I super chat them a few times, and then all of a sudden she's doing that, and it's just like, girl, don't do that. I want you guys to have those extra bucks out on the road. That is wonderful of you, though. It goes into the channel costs.
I'm going to have to come up here.
Yeah.
Look at what Richard Bentley's saying. Michelle's the one that controls the cash. See, he would have been. He would have said, "Nah, no, Sty's going to say you shouldn't do that." But Michelle's like, "Sorry, I carry a pocketbook."
I've got people coming in at 4 o'clock, so
you do. You could get caught.
Not that way.
You could get caught.
I've got some workers coming in.
See you later.
Yeah, Hike with Mike's been getting out quite a bit, and that's great. I got to go and watch that video where you went into your buddy's camp there. I didn't even get the whole gist of it, but I gotta go watch that. Been busy times for Hike with Mike. Yeah, at least he's getting out for some fresh air. Getting out for some.
We haven't done that for a while.
Now tomorrow I got a ton of crap I got to get done here. I'm sorting through some gear, getting a little start on some stuff because Tuesday I'm out of here. I'm heading for the woods, hiking into Lost Creek Falls. That'll work out to about a 4-mile round trip. And the way my legs have been bothering me lately, I need to be out there starting to build some stamina and strength back in my legs. So it's going to be a nice slow hike, but I'm going out there to try out my new Hero 7 Black.
There you go.
Gotta do that today.
Right, I'm going to get off.
Okay.
There we go.
Stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble.
Can't do it from the corner properly.
Right? It was seeing though, Yeah. Oh yeah,
Good
Michelle.
night, please. See you later.
I'm being very, very careful out there. Yeah, have a good night, Carpy Chris. Yeah, I'm being quite quite careful. Yeah. Cat's been sick. He never leaves my side. Oh. Yeah.
When did you start being careful?
When did I start?
Yeah.
When I almost fell off that fucking cliff into that river. Right after that, I started getting really, really careful.
Okay. I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, I did. I have been. Yeah. That one was an eye opener. I know that would have fucking hurt. I might have even. I kind of looked down there. If I would have shot out far enough, I would have landed in water that probably would have been deep enough if I took a good flat back hit, so that it wouldn't go too deep. It's probably about.
You wouldn't do that. You will
Probably
fall.
about 5 foot deep there, and so I probably could have survived it, but it would have hurt like a bitch for a long time. Well, see, that's it. Is I'm not going from now on. When I look and I see the potential of a slide like that, if I don't have a climbing rope with me, I ain't going there. I'm staying back.
No shit.
Huh?
No shit.
No shit. And see, the thing is, I had someone say to me, "Hey, Will Life made it awesome."
Yeah, no.
Yay!
I told you yesterday. Hey.
Yeah, so close. I don't you love it when people are getting close and you just like,
Yep.
And you just know it. You can feel it. It's coming.
You're rooting for them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Could you remember when you were that close? Man, every day you would put in the hours and staying up late or whatever to get to that point.
Hell,
I haven't been what you did.
Tell you what, when I hit 1,000, subs, I was no more thrilled at 1,000 as I was when I got 45. I'll never forget when I hit 45 subs.
Yeah.
I had people, because when I hit 45, I had 2 people from across the pond. I was thrilled before that because I had people from all over the U.S.
Oh, mine was on the U.S.
From across the pond, and they subbed to me. And I mean, I was dancing around telling everybody I knew, man, if I got me a fucking channel. I got 45 people watching me, and they're from all over the world. I made it every frickin' country out there. I was so frickin' thrilled. And when I hit 1,000, it was a combination of I was super thrilled, but I also it was like, oh my God, like a big burden had come off my shoulders. I felt like, oh God, I felt so much more at ease. I hit that 1,000 mark, and yeah,
Well, it's good with it is that you can live stream from your phone, and that make it more easy for many people,
Yeah, and I still think it's a bummer that they got to have 1,000 to stream from the phone.
Yeah, but I understand why they do that,
Check out Real Life's comment.
No, real life.
See how excited we are for you?
You bastard.
Hey, anybody that doesn't have Wheel Life, get over there and follow him now.
No.
He doesn't need hours. He needs watch hours.
Run this playlist.
It's hours. He's counting his hours. He's trying to hit the 4,000 hours.
That's right.
Yeah, run his playlist, everybody. Run his playlist.
Yeah, if you haven't been watching all of his stuff, get over there and watch some of his playlists. Give him those. I mean, for crying out loud. If that's hours he's looking for,
yeah.
Holy smokes.
It's
Come on,
hours.
it's 98 hours.
Yeah.
There's got to be. See, and I've been watching all his stuff. Even if I miss one of his streams, I catch it the next day and I just run that whole damn thing through. Even if I can't take the time to listen to every bit of it, I run it all the way through. Just to get those hours up. Hey, Canoe Hound, Dennis is in the house. Dennis the Menace.
Oh man.
I know
Okay,
what-
that's not cool. I need to get some sun, obviously. All right, get comfortable. I'm wearing shorts. I put my legs up and
Whoa.
That's part that I found. Yeah.
it's like, what's that white spot on my camera? It's my knee.
It's
Look at that white spot.
You're
Look at-
blinding me.
That's one thing he doesn't
Hey,
take
you
after
mean
the
that damn
hand
shirt?
work. I'm much darker complected than my boy. And
It's
yes,
the light. It
and
is
yes,
the light.
you can just about guarantee it. I'm wearing shorts.
I know.
Yeah.
My legs have not seen direct sunlight in about 15 years.
And he's wearing regular, normal kind of gym short, kind of or recreational shorts. You know, I am so freaking old school.
What?
I mean, I don't buy them fancy goddamn shorts. What the hell do you buy those for? I mean, don't you make your own shorts? I mean, Christ.
Yeah, occasionally.
That's what.
It depends if the legs fall apart faster than the rear end.
What is that doing?
I don't know. If
Thank you, Mike, for running.
we don't want to see Sty 5.0.
See,
So what are you looking at here? Hole in your pants and in the wrong places.
It's cut off.
they're so damn stylish. I mean, yeah, they're that's what a pair of pants is only good for about maybe 2 years for me, if I'm lucky, and then there are a pair of shorts for another year and a half, 2 years. There you go. You see,
I'm lucky if my pants make it a month.
Why is that?
Yeah, wheel life. That's right. That's when they're comfy. I tell you what. If my shorts, if I put them on, and if my foot doesn't go through the wrong hole, at least on one of the legs, then those shorts aren't broke in yet. They gotta have a big tears in them, and yeah, I wear the hell out of them.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, I end up tearing out the legs so much on any of my pants. I get about a month out of them. I stopped buying. I was getting these like double ply denim or the canvas Carhartt pants.
Right.
You know, I thought, oh well, they cost more and they're a bit more rugged. Yeah, I got a month and 2 weeks out of them. It's like, okay, that 2 weeks isn't worth the extra $50. I'm just gonna get. I'm just gonna go to Walmart, buy myself 6 pairs of pants every month. You know.
Well, and that's the thing is when you're handling the kind of cargo you're handling, rubbing up against shit constantly, tearing them pants right up. Yeah.
Well, and as it is, I've got Kevlar leggings that I wear underneath my jeans.
Oh, you have a good night, Lady Reaper. Take care of yourself. Take good care of yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, I have to wear those Kevlar leggings and the Kevlar undershirt on most of these steel loads and glass loads. So yeah, the outer clothes they just get shredded. Like my vests, they get replaced about every 2 weeks because they just get so dirty and shredded that they're not high visibility anymore.
You see these socks they came out with? They're basically Kevlar socks, and they're the 5-finger socks. They got the 5 toes in them, and they've got the grip on the sole of them for running around barefoot out there, wherever you're on the beach or in the woods or whatever. everyday use kind of thing, and they're showing them they're stabbing them and trying to cut them. You can't cut through them and this and that. But they keep talking about, and they feel just like a regular sock. And they show this guy running through the woods, and he's jumping across a log. He puts his foot on the log and he jumps off. And I'm going, oh yeah, this is just cute. And everybody's buying into this bullshit. I tell you what, I used to wear moccasins, and I've stepped off the wrong spot, and there's always that one pointed ass rock in the trail. You land on that sucker without a sole in your shoe. You're wearing a sock or a thin moccasin. Ouch! I mean, sure, you're not cutting yourself, but your feet are going to be so beat up and bruised from running around barefoot and stubbing your frickin' toes everywhere you go. And they're really pushing these things. Oh, they're so durable, they'll last for years. They'll never cut. They'll never be cut. You don't have to worry about cutting your feet. No, but they're all bruised to beat hell from running around barefoot and rugged. And they showed this guy running across gravel. And I'm thinking, yeah, after they filmed that guy sat down somewhere going, oh, my frickin' feet hurt. Oh, my God. Yeah, they're not cut, but oh, God, do they hurt.
Well, and it has me curious on how well they're going to work against, something run into a lot, especially with having the dog, is those spiky, hard burrs.
Oh, yeah. Them little buggers.
I have those go right through the sole of my tennis shoes, stabbing my foot. And it's just, it's a nice needle point, and, they're steel hard, they're
little cockleburrs those little sandburrs. Oh,
well, yeah. The little, it's just a single thorn spike. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that'll go right through my boots, through my tennis shoes. It's like, yeah, you're gonna tell me that those socks are gonna stop a needle passing through them, because that's what those things are.
That's what basically you're dealing with. Yeah.
I want to see that guy run through a room full of thumbtacks on the floor and see how it works out.
Oh, there you go, Real Life. I'll be watching. If you do a live tomorrow, I'll jump over there. Make sure you get
what time?
Because I'm available tomorrow. Look at this guy. He's always so damn comfy looking. There you go. Yeah, he's kicking back, just comfy.
Hey, Dennis.
Hey, how you doing?
That beard is starting to bush out a little. I can see it.
I just trimmed it the other day, actually.
Oh, look on the one side like it's bushing out a little bit.
Yeah, it's
all good with the beard.
Yeah, I keep saying, but that's probably coming off soon.
Huh?
Summer's coming, right? I'll be all clean like you, Phil.
Is it? Summer? Yeah. I'm not sure about that.
Memorial Day weekend. That's good. It's the official start of summer.
Yeah.
It's snowing here today, for fuck's sake. Yeah.
You've got snow in Norway?
Oh, yeah, it comes and goes and comes and goes, and rain, sun, snow.
Yeah, it snows year-round in Norway.
No, it doesn't. You motherfucker. It doesn't.
It was snowing last August when Smokey and the Bandit came to Norway. So.
Yeah, you almost made me spit my coffee out.
One of these days, I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to go down to Michigan. Oh, fuck, I'm going to kick your ass.
Hey, Donnie, you and your
truck. She left her 8-track and left her 8-track tapes outside. They got snow all over them.
One thing, I never had an 8-track in any cars I had. No.
You don't have an 8-track?
I've got an 8-track.
For Firebird?
Nope.
They still didn't have 8-tracks, huh? Damn.
I had a cassette player, but never had an 8-track. No.
I've always been curious how they mount the record player in their cars. Yeah.
I never liked it, like, what do you call it? Record player. No.
I never had an 8-track tape player. I had a robot thing when I was a kid that you could put an 8-track that the game played 8-tracks and you push button to answer the question, but I would use it as an 8-track tape player. So
yeah. See, the 8-tracks, I've got one at home, and and there's certain albums that are just great on, because it had quad sound output. It is like the predecessor to surround sound. and you get stuff like Inagata Vita, or any of the Black or Pink Floyd albums, The Wall or Dark Side of the Moon. And that music, you're sitting in the middle of the room and it's creating this box around you as it's moving, because it's going through, it was isolated out to the 4 channels.
You can't beat 8-track quad.
You can't do it with digital. No one has successfully matched what the 8 tracks could do.
Yep. Now, I overheard you mention a record player in a car. 1957 Chevrolet, it was an option. You could get a 45 RPM record player, dash mounted, and it was pretty cool because the table would slide out. You'd set your 45 on it, slide it back in, and play your 45 RPM records in it. And
what you got there?
Ford had a couple of models that they put them in, but the 57 Chevy was a big one. That was a big deal. If you can find a 57 Chevy with the stock 45 RPM record player in it, boy, you just jacked up the value of the car by about $4,000. I saw one of those for sale on eBay, and it came out of a 57 Chev, and they wanted $1,500 for it.
Good Lord.
And no guarantees, it said, on whether it's functional or not, because they didn't have it hooked up to anything to test it. So, but $1,500, and it sold. It sold $1,500.
That's a fancy sticker, Sty.
Oh, he's opening it. Look at this.
Opening well.
Oh, I really like that one.
That would definitely go on a magnet. That is not going to be a kill 'em and stick 'em sticker.
Well, I just don't want to replace the one I already have, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. No need to do that. You can just hang on to that for a rainy day, something.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What is that? Holographic, right?
Yeah, holographic. Sticker Mule has them for $79 for 50 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And once in a while, I'll have them on sale for $29. And so I'm waiting for them to go $29 again. I hope what I've got left will hold out. That's terrible. That, hey, go to Sticker Mule. Go to Sticker Mule. When they have that on sale.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Otherwise,
I appreciate that.
You're more than welcome. I appreciate your membership, man. I figured I didn't have to send him a sticker that he had already printed.
Yeah, right.
He's got it already on his water bottle. That's pretty cool.
I push the channel a lot there. It's on my water bottle. It's on my mug.
Yeah, I can't wait to get all that frickin' glue off of my adventure trailer. All that tape glue that was left on there from the ass that I bought it from, taped all this for sale signs and shit on the trailer. Yeah. Once I get that cleaned off, then I can get my follow my friends deal going with all the channel stickers going on the one corner of the trailer.
Did you ever get those stickers on your kayak yet?
No, not yet. That's happening this summer too. Yeah, I got to get yours up on the bow there, and I got to get the Sty stickers on each side of the bow, and yeah, I can't wait to get the decals put on.
Cool.
They're sitting right over here. They don't go far. You can't see them with the shit.
No, we can see it.
Flip it around. Flip it. We could see it around back.
The Styack.
The Styack, it says. And that's going on the kayak. There's two of them, one for each side. And
you ought to know your Sty. Yeah.
That's one thing I was thrilled about was this.
Yep.
This one mount. I checked it out too.
Trying to cool the tongue off there.
This one mount for that GoPro 7 Black is going right on the bow of my kayak.
Oh yeah. Well, you end up getting the kit with it, eh?
It comes with two adhesive mounts and with two one's got the screw-on base for a tripod, and then the other one is just the slide-on base for any clips, any style.
Well, you've got a kit coming from me because I ordered a kit. It's like a 55-piece kit.
Oh, ass and a half. Because I've got about a 30-piece kit over here too, but that was for
spare parts.
That was the action cam.
Spare parts, yeah.
Yeah, lots of spare parts. Well, see, and that's the thing is I've got some great ideas coming, man. I'm going to be putting an adhesive clip, and I did learn some things. Is you can buy these. They're these little patches that got a little like a tab with a hole in it and a tether, and you tape that. You put that patch near your GoPro, and it attaches to your GoPro in case it gets hit or slips out of its base. It doesn't fall out. It hangs from that tether. It might come out of the base, get knocked out of the base, but it's going to hang from that tether. So I'm ordering some of those. I think I got to order. I got them in the cart, but I think it's 4 to a pack. And what I'm going to be doing, because I think it'll be cool, is I want to mount a couple of camera mounts on the adventure trailer up towards the front end, shooting down the side of the truck ahead. And so I'm filming. You'll be able to see the nose of the trailer and all of the King Ranch and the highway down ahead of me. I can head out, go in some of those remote spots, and it's a whole different view than looking out the windshield all the time. Everybody films out the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no, I'm going to film off the side of the trailer and the truck going down into the woods and shit with that. I think that's going to be a fun effect. I'm going to have a blast. This power base that Running Water gave me, I've been playing with that. I played with it again this morning. It's pretty cool. Hit record, start playing with that remote, panning back and forth, does a full circle, looks at the whole room, and then back and stops facing me. Yeah, I'm going to have fun with that sucker out in camp too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I had ordered for myself, and I had a promo code for it's a bundle deal, and found out you can reuse that promo code. I'm like, well, shoot, Sty will use it. So yeah, it's like a 55-piece kit, and then there's it's a triple charger with 3 batteries for the GoPro.
That's not bad.
Seriously,
so you'll have, yeah.
That'll put me up to. I've got 4. I've got 4 batteries already. That'll put me up to 7 batteries.
That's what, 14 hours?
Uh-huh.
Ballpark?
Yeah, ballpark 14 hours, depending on what resolution I'm running at. And
right. Those things eat batteries, though. That's the only problem.
They eat them up. If you want 1080p, you get maybe an hour and 15 minutes on a battery. Yeah.
Does that the Hero 7, does that have the voice command?
Voice command? No.
Yeah. No? The Hero 8 does, right? You could say
yeah.
GoPro record, right?
Yeah.
Record. That's nice on a canoe, because if you got that at the bow of your canoe,
you got it way up in the bow and you can tell it to turn on and turn off. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't believe the 7 has. I didn't see that feature. Yeah. No. I'll have to look a little closer, but I don't think it does. I think only the 8 has that. The only issue I have, I don't know how well it's going to work with the 8 unless you get the media package, because GoPro microphones suck.
Even on the 7, yeah.
Huh?
Even on the 7 where it doesn't have a case on it.
That's the thing, is I got to take it completely out of the case.
Oh.
And I got to have it set close to me for it to come in good. Otherwise, if it's in the case,
yeah,
you still have microphone holes in that case that are lined up with the microphones. I think you got 3 mics on the 7. On the 8, I think you got one extra one, 4 mics actually on the 8. But
well, I ordered for myself. I was going to try it out, or actually, I'll give it to you to try out.
Tim's saying that it does have voice. Okay, cool. If it's got voice, I gotta see. I've only had it for about 36 hours, so I haven't gotten to play with it a lot.
But yeah, something I ordered.
If I gotta yell at it, GoPro, turn on. Hey, if they hear me echo across the lake, I don't give a shit. As long as I don't have to crawl out on the end of the kayak to start it,
Yeah. But yeah, something I ordered for myself, but I'll probably have you test it.
On the GoPro app, I can't even find the freaking app on my cheap ass phone. I've been searching for the app on here for the GoPro, and it don't show. It's given me everything but.
And you mentioned about the sound though with the GoPro. That's the one thing I find for such an expensive camera, they always have crappy sound, right?
Right.
I had a Hero 3 or the Hero 3 Plus, was it, I think? And yeah, if it was in the case, forget it. Like,
Oh, in the waterproof case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also had like a whole kit of cases where you had the protective case, but it had like vents in the side so that, like, obviously it's not waterproof, but
but it's water resistant that way. And then
I finally had enough of it. I said, screw it. I got rid of the thing.
Yeah.
I sold
See,
it.
I'm now with the 8. That's an $80 add-on, but if you put the media case on it, it's got a bullet microphone. The only problem with the bullet microphone is it only points straight forward. It's not going to pick up peripheral sound or anything. So you got to have it facing right at you for that mic to pick it up. But it does have a 3.5 millimeter jack so that you can actually run an LED light off of it, or you can run an additional remote mic off of it. So that's a feature I kind of liked, but I didn't want to pay $80 for that feature. That's what
I ordered was for myself, and I was going to see if you wanted to test it. Is one of those dongle adapters to plug an external mic into the 7, and that found that on Amazon.
What are you doing? Are you going with the micro HDMI slot? Is that what it's plugging into? Because there's no audio jack on a 7.
Right. Yeah. It's that little micro jack that it plugs into. Okay. And then that gives you a mic jack then that you can plug in your own microphone or powered mic or whatever you have external. And I saw that, and it was like $35 on Amazon, and it's like, well, it's worth a try.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying one, because that's the issue, is the microphone. And for the most part, what I really want to get out of the 7 is I want to use it for what it was designed for, as an action cam. Hey, Spicy. Yeah. Going to bed a half hour early tonight.
I'm going to try to actually get to bed instead of staying up. I'm going to try to go lay down, see if I can't,
You just said what I was going to tell you. This time, go to bed.
Yeah.
Shut shit off. Go to bed.
Yeah. Well, those things are usually what makes me help my eyes get heavy, so that when I go in bed, I'm not laying there for a half an hour. But, I could use the half hour laying there right now, I think. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a half hour ahead of the game at least.
Yep. So.
Hey,
all right, guys.
Great having you up here.
Be good. We'll see you soon.
I loved your video, man. Love the hot challenge video.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like it. Everybody go see that video.
Yeah, anybody that hasn't seen Phil's
and share it out.
Latest video, go over there, watch it, and share it.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
an order.
Keep it spicy, buddy.
Spicy.
Give me spicy.
I like that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was like I was saying. The reason I got the 7 is to really try to put it to the test for what it's designed to be, and that's being an action cam. I want it on the bow of my kayak. I think it'll be fun to water level shoot, off the kayak. I want to make a couple of wands that I can mount it on, stick in a scupper hole in my kayak, and then be able to turn it wherever I want it, have it facing me, whatever. Plus, when I'm hiking, hand carrying a damn camera, all I get is this as I'm walking, I chest mount a camera, all I get is this little puppy. I mount that on the top of my hat, and you might get some of this, but I don't walk doing this with my head.
So I think it's good in stabilization, right?
Yeah. And stabilization on this camera I found works real good for vertical stabilization. Horizontal stabilization is you still get, so if it's mounted and it's slow weaving back and forth, it doesn't stabilize that. It's too slow. It has to be shaky, then it stabilizes. But if it's slow, it figures that's you wanting to move the camera is what it's doing. It's saying, oh, well, it's a slow move, so why would you stabilize that? So yeah, it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna burn through a bunch of batteries playing with that damn thing out in the field. I'm sure of it. That's one thing I couldn't understand though, is they got this 3.5 jack on that media cover for the 8, and they show them using an LED light off of it, right? You don't want anything drawing juice off that camera. I mean, the camera itself is hard on the batteries. Now you're going to add another power draw on it. And if you put a additional power mic on it, it better be a self-powered mic with its own batteries, because it would kill your battery in your camera. Another option they have for 8, which is another $80, is a flip-up screen, an additional LED screen that you can mount to it and flip it so that you can see it facing you while you're in the frame, where all of the GoPros only have the back screen. This gives you a front screen you can fold up and see, so that you can be in your frame in the shot and see yourself from in front of the camera. $80 for that thing. I'm going to do what Really Big Monkey does. I'm going to rig me up a mirror.
Yeah.
I'm going to rig me up a mirror, because all you got to do is make sure you're in the shot, right? If you're in front of the camera, the only reason you want to see that screen is to make sure you're in the shot. So, yeah, a mirror will tell me that.
See, back when I had my GoPro 3, they didn't even have screens on them. I had an auxiliary screen that plugged into the back of it. And as soon as I did that, I lost half my battery life rate. Suck up so much power, right? Yeah. And that's the problem probably with the new GoPros too, is they suck up battery life just based on the LED or LCD screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not. As far as the 8's concerned, the initial price $300. I'm okay with it. But I just didn't need the 2 newest features, and all it is improved 4K capabilities and the 2.0 stabilization. And then when I saw side-by-side comparisons, it's not, it isn't enough of an improvement to say, well, it's worth an extra $70. It just didn't seem to be. Because if the stabilization doesn't completely stabilize it, my software will do it too. I can get it close to stable and then finish stabilizing it in my editing software. So, but the thing I didn't like with the 8 is they got 3 add-on peripherals for it. All 3 of them are $80 a piece. So all of a sudden you got to pay another $240. Now your camera goes from $300 goes to $540.
Yeah.
And is it really worth all of that?
That's where they get all the extras.
This one guy told me, he says, I bought it for review purposes because he's bought every single GoPro from the very first one. He says, I'd be surprised if my first GoPro didn't come right off the assembly line and they said, this is the first one being mailed. And he says, and I've reviewed every single one of them. He says, after reviewing the 8, I tell people if you own a 7, don't spend the extra money to buy the 8. It's not worth it. If you don't own any GoPros, you may want to buy the 8. He says, I wouldn't tell you not to. He says, because it is still an excellent camera. But he said, but if you own a 7, don't waste your money on an 8. He says, if I didn't review cameras and I owned a 7, I'd hold out until GoPro 10. He says, if you get 2 more generations on it, the cumulative upgrades and the fixes will be worth the additional money. The cost will then really warrant the upgrade. And so I told him, yeah. Metal Music, $540. It better make coffee. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Teresa, good to see you, girl. Good to see you. Good to see you. Big hugs. But yeah, I think I'm going to have fun with it. I got this GoPro clone somewhere. I still can't find it. I had to make an extra trip to the store to get a memory stick for it because my action cam's got my 2 micro SD cards with it. I can't remember where the hell I put it. I think it's in my adventure trailer, actually. It's here somewhere. I got so much shit. It's going to take me a week just to sort through all this stuff and get my camera gear and stuff that stays home separate.
It's going to take you 6 months to get through all them books behind you.
Sty Stories, a whole shit.
Now, you know what? I just got a cheapy action cam too. And I think I paid like $45 Canadian for it.
Yeah, I paid about $45 American for mine.
Yeah, and you know what? If I'm hanging a camera off the side of my canoe, that's the one I want to be using. Because if it fell and went to the bottom of the lake, I'm only out $45, not $300, right?
To me, cameras are just like bushcrafting knives.
Yeah.
Guy will go out and spend $200 to $500 on this big top brand bushcrafting knife. Goes out to camp, spends a week way the hell out in the backcountry. Last day, packs up, heads out, drives all the way home. It's 180 miles back home. He gets home, he sits down, and he goes, where the hell is that Essie knife? Oh, shit, I know where it is. It's stuck in that frickin' birch tree that I was cutting bark off of. 180 miles from here, and an 8-mile hike into the woods, and then finally they say, "Yeah, fuck, I got to do it," and they go back and they hike out there, and it's gone. You can see where it was stuck in there, but it's gone because the next hiker that came through goes, "Oh, the knife god left me a brand new SES."
The knife god.
But if it was a Mora, you go, well, I know where I can get Mora.
Yep, for another $20.
No big deal.
Yep.
I can buy 10 Moras for the gas it's going to cost me to go looking for the one I lost. Yep, so I'll just pick up another one. Yeah. Yeah, and I see cameras that way too, is Well, when I dropped my Vixie 800 in the river last year, oh, did that piss me off. Yeah, that puppy is far from waterproof. Actually, I'm surprised as much of it survived as it did, because the only thing that doesn't work is the screen, the LED screen.
Oh yeah.
And the problem with that, though, is you don't know if you're on shot or not. So you got to really guess when aiming that camera. Plus, you don't get any of the on-screen options. So there's not much you can do. You can zoom and you can still take still pictures, but you can't see them to see if that was a good one. So I use that as a walk-to camera on the trail, where you hike down, set a camera up, and then you walk past it, to get that shot of you hiking by. I use it for that kind of stuff now, because otherwise I can't see what the hell's going on. And I thought it was going to survive. I mean, I brought that sucker home. It was powered off when it hit the drink, and I brought that sucker home, shook that sucker for 5 hours. It had condensation on the inside of the lens. I'm like, ooh, not good. And I took 4 pounds of rice, and I buried that sucker in the middle of that 4 pounds of rice in this big plastic container, and I let it sit in that rice for 2 weeks. Pulled it out, put battery on it, hit the on button. That screen comes up and it's going right through the menu. Everything's cool. I'm going, awesome. Open the lens cover, clear as a bell. Hit record. It's recording. I can see it's recording. Everything's cool. And all of a sudden it goes, bing, bing. It's gone. The screen's gone. And it never came back. It worked great for about 4 minutes. And then the screen gone. Then I was in a panic. I plugged it into the computer and checked, opened the files on it. There's a video file. I open it. Sure as shit, there's the video. And fortunately, the river video, most of it survived too. I was able to download that off of it. But, well, that's because all the SD cards I get now are waterproof. I make sure my SD cards are rated for waterproof, not resistant. I've had a couple SD cards fry on me because they got moisture inside the card. Oops. And that's the problem, is if you're not careful, live and learn can cost you a bit of money. It can cost you a bit of money if you're not careful.
No kidding.
And that's like with the kayak, my action cam. I dropped that thing out of the kayaks 3-4 times last summer, and I had a tether on it. And the tether's about 6 feet long, and that sucker go plunk. It sinks to that 6 foot mark. And I haul it back up and go, God, I'm glad you're cheap and I don't get back up.
That's a 6 foot tether?
Yeah. Well, it's because I got it tethered to the handles that are up close to my paddling area.
Oh yeah.
Tethered to one of the handles, and then it goes back and up the tripod. So it's 6 feet because I got the camera 3.5 feet above me, and it's about 3 feet back from my seat. So that's something I got to get a paddle tether. Yeah. What? I don't know why the hell they're so damn cheap. Yeah, they did an excellent job on my kayak. Everything on it, I can't bitch about really anything for the price, right? Except for the lousy little paddle tether that for just attaching your paddle to the side of the kayak. That little son bitch tore right out of it right away. It's goddamn junk. I mean, so there's nothing worse when you're fishing than having to have your paddle laying across your damn lap. I want that sucker off on the side, and I got a little anchor, so I anchor myself in the bay or whatever and fish. But having to move that paddle around while I'm fishing is a pain in the neck. So got to work on that too. Oh, all the misery we have to go through just to paddle, right?
Sucks, doesn't it?
It really sucks. What really sucks is us not being able to be out there paddling.
Yeah. Actually, they've eased up on some of the rules around our area. I can actually get out now. I just haven't had the chance. So
now, Crown land is still restricted.
They've opened up the provincial parks. No, I think you could probably like day use. I don't think you're supposed to camp yet.
Okay.
Yeah, no camping. The way it says.
No camping. See, we still got full fire restriction here.
They actually just lifted that on us yesterday too. We could actually have fires now.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope they do the same here. Well, see, they're not gonna. I know what they're gonna do. They're just gonna keep that fire restriction on until they decide they're gonna allow camping.
Yeah.
They're just gonna keep it on because we're not allowed to even disperse camp on federal lands right now. And
It's been raining a lot as well.
And if we were allowed to disperse camp, it wouldn't be a big deal because I'll just use a gas stove, backpack stove.
Yep.
And I don't need to have a wood fire. I prefer to, but don't have to. I don't. And the thing is because it's the federal parks and forests, they don't want their federal employees having to clean bathrooms and deal with campers. But they keep saying, and we don't want to take the EMS people away from the COVID thing. They got to be available for COVID patients. So COVID patients get sick and they get all the attention. I have a freaking heart attack here, and they'll put you through about a 45-minute phone call to determine whether or not they're going to send an ambulance.
Yeah,
because it's not COVID related. We were actually told locally the best thing to do if you feel like you're having a stroke or a heart attack, you call 911 and you tell them, I got this terrible fever and I can't breathe and I'm so weak I can't even drive myself to the hospital. And they'd say, ambulance is on its way. But if you call them and go, this is it. This is it. This is the big one. I'm having the big one. They'd say, well, are you sure? Just a second. We're going to put you on with a nurse practitioner, and she'll have some questions for you. And then she'll put you on with the doctor. And then the doctor will decide whether or not to tell us to come and get you.
Yep.
I think I'm dying. Well, just don't die till we're all done talking to you.
Yeah. Everything's put on hold, man. Everything's on hold.
That's it. I mean, right now, COVID is the key. I mean, that gets you the attention right away. I can't breathe. I think I got the COVID. We're on our way. Right there. We got special money for that.
I think
if you have a heart attack, it's stay at home and die, you old fart. You shouldn't have had that heart attack during this virus.
Yeah.
How dare you? And
yeah.
And here everybody's going, why are they being so restrictive on us going to the hospital if we feel we need to? We haven't had a single COVID patient in our community. We've had one in our county, but it was down in the southern end of the county. And they stayed at home. They didn't go to the hospital. So we haven't had a single COVID case at our hospital, but our hospital keeps saying, don't come here unless you got COVID.
Yeah.
Don't do it. And we're like, damn, I think they're trying to kill us old farts off one way or the other. We'll get you with that COVID. If not, we're going to let you sit at home and die of a heart attack. We'll get you one way or the other, you old fart. Well, this old fart, he don't give up.
He'll give a fart.
Well, it's interesting watching some of these lawsuit complaints, states wanting to take and say, yeah, you died at home because of a heart attack because they couldn't come to you because of COVID. Well, that's COVID related.
Right, because it's because of COVID we couldn't come and get you.
Yep, you commit suicide.
It's COVID related.
Yeah, because you lost your job because everything's locked down and you're not allowed to work. And you snap. That's COVID related.
Yeah, that's what I don't like is how they're skewing the numbers that way. Just be honest. We're crying out loud. Just be truly honest with us. It would really help. I'd rather hear the bad news for what it really is. If there's good news, then tell me that for what it really is. Don't kind of come in the middle of things and just, well, we'll tell you this much. No, just say it. Just say it.
Well, yeah, one of the cases I've been following was this family in New Jersey fighting the death record on their father, grandfather. It's listed as being COVID death. And they're like, no, he has had like stage 4 lung cancer for over a year, and he was in hospice at 93 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He was in hospice. He was anticipated to pass away within the next 6 days.
Yep. Had a DNR order that if I die, just let me stay that way.
And when he passed away, they declared it as a COVID-related death.
Yep, because it involved the lung, his lungs. It's like, and the family's like, no, he come right out and told us if they try saying it's COVID, you fight it. He's like, because COVID didn't kill me. He's like, 60 years of smoking cigars every day killed me.
Yeah. Good night.
Night. Tired.
I think I'm gonna pack it in myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. We're going on 3.5 hours. Guys got to eat today. That's necessary evil,
And take your pills soon.
Yeah, take your pills, Sty.
Yeah, I can just about take them now so that Ann can rest easy tonight. It is Sunday, right?
Yeah.
It's someday.
On Monday.
Anyways, farewell, everybody. Have a great weekend, or what's left of it here. And it's a long weekend for us in Canada, so we're all right. But
sweet dreams to you and your wife.
Yep, we'll do. Have a good one. Good night, everybody.
Well, I'll be there Tuesday night.
Yeah, put Friday on the calendar too, because that's our big our video and editing show.
Oh, is that what this Tuesday is?
No, this coming Friday. It's going to be a special edition show.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm not streaming on Friday.
Yep. There we go.
Okay,
guys. Catch you
have
later.
a good one.
Night.
Stay safe and happy. So, hey, good night, Eric. Yeah, it's time for us to wrap it up.
Good night, everybody.
Sweetheart, good night.
Love you all.
Everybody out there in the chat and the viewers, it was awesome having you here. Truly appreciate it. It was another great night. Very great night. And my next stream is going to be, gosh almighty.
Thursday.
It's going to be Thursday. Yeah, nothing in between. I'm going to be outdoors all day Tuesday, so I won't even be back home until after the sun sets on Tuesday. So. But all of you take care till Thursday night. If I don't see you in spicy streams or if Ann pops one up.
I have to make a stream now, so if you can join me, that will be fine.
Oh, if you do, I'm going to have to be watching all my notifications of my
We can talk on Messenger, but you have just to be none. If not, I have to call you.
The only problem is Tuesday, of course, because I'll be way up.
Yeah.
Out the woods, but But I tell you, if I'm not out in the woods, girl, I'm going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but you and Samantha, maybe Grandy and things like that. Phil is at work, so yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Wonderful.
like to be on my panel by my own. It's boring.
Oh, I've gotten that way. I can do alone if I'm doing a video, but if I'm doing a stream, I'd rather have at least one person up here with me, you know?
At least.
At least. And you guys have always been there for me. It's great. And it's great, Running Water, that you've been showing up more often in the evenings like this. That's cool. Whenever you have the opportunity, show up, bud.
Yep.
Show up.
Yeah, I usually take
to your house. You can have a key to the Sty Shack.
I usually try to plan things out so I'm parked by about 5 p.m. You know, parked before everyone else is trying to squeeze in. And
yeah. And I never stream anytime other than 7 p.m. Central Time. So you can count on that. If I'm streaming, that's when it is. If I do a really odd, random stream, nobody knows what time of day that would be.
And that's because they're boring.
Nobody else is freaking streaming. And I'm bored. I'm looking for somebody to talk to. And I go, oh, the hell with it. I'm just going to start a stream. That happens about once every 3 months where I just do it. Damn it, I'm so bored. I got to start one. Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah. So, again, everybody have a very good night. And I'll see you on Thursday. I got a little exit for remind you about Thursday. And then I'll see you later. You guys, if you don't want to talk a couple minutes. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.